All right, test 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you can hear me now. I think I got it figured out. Let me know if you can hear me. Testing 1, 2. Put in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, great. Sorry about that, guys. This whole time I thought you guys could hear me. I apologize about that. Sometimes you have to kind of go behind the scenes and do a little digging on where the audio is or is not. In this case, it was the is not. So great to see you guys. So we'll go ahead and start over here. 4:48 a.m. Saturday morning here. We have our first severe thunderstorm warning of the evening. This is for Vigo County, West Central Indiana, Northwestern, Northeastern Sullivan County in Indiana, Owen and Putnam counties as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds is the going hazard here. And here's a live look at Terre Haute, Indiana. Go ahead and show you here what is going on. A very, very windy here in Terre Haute at this point in time. I had a camera pulled up. Now it's not wanting to work. Here we go. Here's a live look here. Again, very, very windy conditions here. This is downtown Terre Haute. 60-mile-per-hour winds is what this warning is for. There's some small hail in it, penny-sized hail associated with this thunderstorm as well. So you can have some few pings on your window. But 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail is the going risk there. You can see the gust front there moving through, stoplights blowing in the wind as well. So great that you guys can hear me. Great for joining us here. There you can see the gust front just moving through Terre Haute, right along the I-70 corridor here. Just crossed US 41 towards the Keller, Indiana area. You guys are getting the winds right now. Steelyville, you guys are on deck, as well as Brazil and Staunton right along US 40 and I-70. The storm is moving off to the east-northeast at 70 miles an hour, so it's moving at a pretty good clip here across the region. You can see how it has this bowed-out appearance to it. You can see the apex here, like the backside of a bow and arrow. That is indicative of some strong winds on the backside, and that is exactly what we're seeing here, and that is what this severe thunderstorm warning is for. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Go ahead and turn on a hail tracker here. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the hail associated with this thunderstorm. You can see some hail. On the north side of the storm has the greatest hail core, could have some penny-sized hail, which is 0.75 diameter. That is going to be moving right along I-70 towards the just south of Harrison. Terre Haute, you guys are on the back side of it now. Should be winding down for you guys over the next few minutes. However, approaching Brazil, Indiana, Steelyville, Staunton, Art, Clay City, be on deck for 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail associated with this thunderstorm here over the next few minutes. Zooming out across the region, this is our only severe thunderstorm warning across the state right now. Our cold front, which is capable, or not capable, but associated with these showers and thunderstorms right now, is currently draped from South Bend all the way over to Bloomington, Illinois, and that is what is firing, or responsible for firing these thunderstorms across the region here tonight. But this is our only severe thunderstorm warning at the time. And go ahead and read off the counties here for you one more time. It's for Vigo County, West Central Indiana, Northeastern Sullivan County, Southwestern Indiana, Clay County, Northwestern Owen and Southwestern Putnam County, and West Central Indiana. And this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 5:15 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in West Central Indiana. This is going to move right along the I-70 corridor. This is moving east-northeast at 70 miles an hour. So moving towards the Cloverdale area, Greencastle, not a severe thunderstorm warning yet, but we'll have to see how this storm holds together and if we see a downstream warning issued. Go ahead and turn back to velocity here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our winds one more time here. Go ahead and turn those on for you. This is a little bit elevated here, but it shows the greatest winds just outside of Terre Haute, approaching the Brazil area, Indiana area. Let's go ahead and switch radars here. I think Evansville had a better look at it. Yeah, I like that a little bit better on velocity, a little bit more realistic there than what Indianapolis was showing at the moment. Again, strongest winds approaching Brazil, Indiana. Pretty decent winds there. Potentially up to 60 miles per hour. You can see right along US 40 here is a pocket of the strongest winds right now associated with that core there. A lot of lightning associated with this storm as well. Lightning does not make a storm severe. However, lightning in itself is a hazard, so do treat it as such, and do be cognizant of that as well. But a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 23 minutes here, and strongest winds now approaching the Brazil area on US 40, right along I-70. But all along here, from Clay City to Brazil, could have 60-mile-per-hour winds, with the strongest being in the pocket just to the north, right along the US 40 icon there, approaching Brazil, Indiana. So Brazil be on deck for 60-mile-per-hour winds, perhaps even a little bit stronger, mixing down to the ground as well, maybe 65. Could have some stronger winds in there as well. Penny-sized hail is also being reported in this thunderstorm as well, which is 0.75 diameter. So anytime you get wind-driven hail, even though it's penny-sized hail, which is sub-severe, wind-driven hail can increase the damage that the hail is able to produce. So do keep that in mind. Penny-sized hail could be rather loud on the windows, especially when it's wind-driven hail at 60 miles per hour. Torrential rainfall is also occurring with this storm, so do expect whiteout conditions due to the heavy rainfall. Some ponding on area roadways is possible until storm drains are able to keep up and pull that water away. Rainfall rates in excess of an inch an hour are being picked up by radar, especially in areas shaded in pink here where you see those 3 lightning bolts. Heavy rain there is being reported by this thunderstorm as well. Rainfall rates in excess of 1 inch per hour. But 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail still ongoing here with this thunderstorm. We'll go ahead and turn Hail Tracker on. Again, here's a look at relative velocity here. This shows our winds associated with this thunderstorm, where you see the brighter pinks there and even a little bit of orange there near the US 40 icon approaching Brazil. That's where our strongest winds are at this point in time. 60 to 65 mile per hour, perhaps the strongest pocket being right along US 40 here approaching Brazil, Indiana. Could have a pocket of stronger winds in there, perhaps 65 miles an hour in there as well. And this is moving towards the Brazil area at this point in time. So moving into Clay County now, as well as northern Greene County as well. So Owen County, Putnam County be on deck for this as well. Owen County, or Greene County rather, it's going to be mainly just to your north here. However, if you're in Owen County, it could swipe you guys a little bit as the storm races off to the east-northeast at 70 miles an hour. That is the current forward motion of this thunderstorm. So moving very quickly here. We do have quite a bit of wind shear aloft that is helping move this storm along, but also allowing this storm to pull down some of those stronger winds aloft as well. So that is giving us our damaging wind risk. They do continue this severe thunderstorm warning. They have left it at 60 miles per hour. They trimmed it back a little bit for Sullivan County, but still, Terre Haute still in a severe thunderstorm warning. However, the worst of the winds are now off to your west, approaching the Brazil, Indiana area. In fact, entering Brazil, Indiana as we speak. Here's a live look at Brazil, Indiana. Again, whiteout conditions. You can see the power lines there just galloping in the winds here. Again, 60 mile per hour winds. Torrential rainfall as well. Look at your visibility here. You can see the floodlights in the background just completely obscured in rain. A lot of lightning associated with this thunderstorm as well, but you can tell the winds are pretty strong by the way the stoplights here are galloping in the winds. So very strong winds in Brazil, Indiana right now. This is along 41 as well as along the I-70 corridor. The storm is moving off to the east-northeast at 70 miles an hour. So it's moving very quickly here with the strongest winds just north of I-70, but also have a pocket of stronger winds from Clay City and points northward as well. So around the region, this is our only severe thunderstorm warning at this point in time. Storms to the north have been producing some small hail, mainly along the order of pea-sized hail, which is sub-severe at this point in time. We haven't even seen a special weather statement across northern Indiana yet tonight, so that's some good news. Our only severe thunderstorm warning is across west central Indiana, right along the I-70 corridor between Terre Haute and Brazil. Strongest winds right now in Brazil, Indiana, moving along the I-70 corridor, moving north and east at 70 miles an hour. So this storm is moving pretty quick. Derek says power's out in Honey Creek, south of Terre Haute. Great for that information. I appreciate it. If any of you guys are watching from this area, let me know what you guys are seeing. Ground confirmation is very important in situations like this. So do let me know if you guys have any damage, have any hail, and yeah, let me know. That's good stuff. Thank you for that report, Derek. Much appreciated. We'll probably see an extension of this severe thunderstorm warning to include more of Putnam County, Owen County. Counties on deck would be Hendricks and Morgan County if the storm is able to maintain itself as it approaches Indianapolis over the next hour or so. The storm is moving pretty fast, 70 miles an hour, so freeway speed. What you travel on I-70 there below is how fast this storm is going. 70 miles per hour is the going rate of this storm. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 18 minutes. However, this storm could very well outrun the severe thunderstorm warning before it is allowed to expire. So we'll probably see a downstream warning here extended into Putnam County a little bit further, including the Greencastle area. So Greencastle, I would actually get in your safe place, lowest level of your home, away from windows. Prepare for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Strongest winds now coming through Brazil, Indiana, and now on the way out of Brazil, Indiana, right along US 40 as well as I-70. So areas zooming in here, we got Cedar Point, or Center Point, rather. I apologize about that. Bowling Green, Jordan, Manhattan, Putnamville, and Greencastle, as well as Mount Meridian, Cloverdale, Quincy, all on deck for 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail. Let's go ahead and turn our hail tracker back on just to look at this one more time to see what our hailstones are doing. A couple different updrafts here associated with this thunderstorm. One, this is a little bit behind, so do keep that in mind. This is probably just south of Brazil, and this is just north of Brazil. And there's our updated severe thunderstorm warning, our downstream warning here, which does include, again, Morgan County and Hendricks County as well. So National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a very large downstream warning to give as much of the heads up as well. So this does include most of Putnam County as well as far northern Owen County. Owen County is just going to glaze your far northwest portion of the county there, with the majority of the strongest winds being in Putnam County, moving into Hendricks County over the next few minutes or so. So Greencastle, Cloverdale, Danville, Plainville, Mooresville, again, be on deck for 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. If you guys are in any of these counties mentioned below, from Greencastle over to Danville, Plainville, if you guys have any trash cans outside, loose items, now's the time to go ahead and pick those items up, move them to a secure location to keep them from blowing around, as 60-mile-per-hour winds will efficiently blow your trash can into your neighbor's yard or up the road. So Fred doesn't want to pick up your trash, so go ahead and pick that up now and move those to a secure location, as well as getting to your safe place as well. Lowest level of your room, interior room, away from windows. 60-mile-per-hour winds can blow sticks and tree debris around, so you do want to place yourself away from windows. Torrential rainfall is also occurring in this storm. Rainfall rates in excess of an inch an hour have been occurring with the storm, so ponding is going to be an issue as well until street drains are able to pick back up. The good news is that this storm is moving very, very fast, so that'll reduce and help mitigate the flash flood risk that we would otherwise have with this thunderstorm. So that is some good news there. The storm is still moving. They have 70 miles per hour with this warning, so this has a considerable tag on it. So some very strong winds have moved through, have been observed by radar. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 5:45 a.m. 70 miles per hour winds, and this storm has picked up speed a little bit, moving now north and east at 75 miles an hour. So picked up by about 5 miles per hour, 70 mile an hour winds, and penny-size hail. So again, a very significant severe thunderstorm here, moving past the Brazil area, moving towards Greencastle and Cloverdale. Again, be on deck for 70 miles per hour winds. Now, this is a considerable tag. Bear with me here as I update warnings on our Facebook page here. I am getting those updated as we speak, so you may have a little bit of radio silence here for the next few seconds here as I update that. So bear with me here. But again, I do want to take this time and say thank you for joining us here tonight. We will be live here for the entirety of this event until the threat is over. Our goal is here at IWO and ISCN to have you covered from beginning to end. And that goes from the start of a severe thunderstorm warning to the end of a severe thunderstorm warning when the threat has ended officially. So we are live here for the entirety of this event. We'll track it out live here for you as we go throughout the day or the morning here on this Saturday morning. So great to have you here. Great to see you guys who are awake here this morning. So great to have you in here. Let's go ahead and turn our velocities back on here and take a look at our winds here. As we track this severe thunderstorm warning out of Putnam County and into into Putnam County out of Clay County. I apologize about that. There's your gust front here. Strongest winds right along the US 40 here is where the strongest winds are, exiting Brazil, Indiana, trailing right along I-70 here, and points northward here is where the strongest winds are. Moving towards the Greencastle area in Cloverdale. Again, interior room, lowest level of your home, 70 miles per hour. Treat it as you would a weak tornado. Once you get into a considerable tag warning on your severe thunderstorm, it's equivalent to a weak tornado. Now, I don't see any signs of rotation here. I don't see any indications of a tornado associated with this thunderstorm, but 70 miles an hour would be equivalent to like such as an EF0 tornado. So you are on the spectrum here. 70 miles per hour is enough winds to do significant tree damage, cause some minor roof damage as well. So again, treat it as you would a tornado. Away from windows, lowest level of your home. Put as many walls or layers between you and the outside as possible. 70 miles per hour can send debris flying. And can blow loose debris around, so you want to place yourself away from windows and into an interior room, bathroom, closet, all great ideas to shelter from this severe thunderstorm. It is moving off to the north and east at 70 miles an hour, so moving pretty quick here. Let's go ahead and time it out here. Let's go 75 miles an hour is our forward speed here. We got Reelsville 3 minutes, Limedale 7 minutes, Putnamville 8 minutes, Greencastle in 9 minutes here. Fillmore 14 minutes. Heritage Lake 16 minutes. New Winchester 20 minutes. And Danville 25 minutes. As well as some of the suburbs of Indianapolis. Claremont, Indiana, one of them 33 minutes. Sterling Heights 33 minutes. And Farley's Addition 34 minutes here. So again, moving into a very urban area, very populated area. But 70 miles per hour winds and penny-sized hail. We do have a considerable tag warning here. This is the level 2 out of 3 on our severe thunderstorms. Many of you may not know, or many of you may know, severe thunderstorm warnings have different tiers. They have different levels. We go have a base warning, which is 60 and quarter. And then once we get to 70 miles per hour or larger hailstones of about ping pong ball size hail, we get a considerable tag. And then once we go to 80 miles an hour, that's when we get a destructive tag. So that's the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning. So there's 3. We have a baseline, considerable, then destructive. We're at a level 2 out of 3 on our severe thunderstorm warning criteria, which is 70 miles per hour winds is the going hazard here. We also have some small hail, penny-sized hail. However, that is below severe criteria in terms of the hail, which is good news. You don't want to see this hail size increase with 70 mile per hour winds. That would do even more damage. Wind-driven hail is very dangerous. It can amplify the damage, siding, windows, cars, etc. So let's hope the hail size stays at a minimum. We don't need any more damage than what we already see occurring here. Again, power outages are possible here anywhere from Brazil, Greencastle, Cloverdale, along the I-70 corridor. So if you know any motorists traveling on the I-70 corridor, whether it's westbound or eastbound, have them pull off. Find a rest stop or something and take shelter. That would be great. Or find an exit. Get to a sturdy structure, such as a gas station. Those are all great ideas. Anything with a fixed foundation, lowest level of that structure, away from windows, are great options. Bathrooms, closets, all great ideas, as long as they are not right up next to an exterior wall. But this is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana right now. Elsewhere across the state, we're quiet at this point in time. The cold front is currently draped across northwest Indiana. Whoa, I don't need my tracker on for that. Stretch across South Bend to Bloomington, Indiana. And this cold front, as it progresses east-southeast, is going to stall out across central Indiana. This is actually going to bring some moderate to heavy rainfall that we see back in here around the St. Louis, Jefferson City area in Illinois and Missouri across central Indiana. So some areas could see 2 to 3 inches of rain by Sunday morning, by the time this is all said and done here. But back to our severe thunderstorm warning here. Again, very strong winds here, approaching the Greencastle, Indiana, Cloverdale areas, right along I-70 and US 40 here. Brazil, you guys are in the clear. Terre Haute, you guys are in the clear. I have heard some reports, some isolated power outages occurring from this thunderstorm, which is not surprising to see. Anytime you get winds greater than 60 miles an hour, you start seeing those isolated power outages pop up. So do let me know if you guys see any damage or have any damage. If you guys are watching from any of these areas, put in the chat. Let me know what you see. That'd be great information to have. We can pass that along to those who are watching, who are in the path of the severe thunderstorm warning. Considerable tag on this, 70 miles per hour winds and penny-sized hail, really strong pockets or pockets of embedded 70-mile-per-hour winds here approaching the Greencastle area, Putnamville, Manhattan, Fox Ridge, Craddock Corner, Cloverdale, US 231 here, right on deck here. The gust front is coming into Greencastle right now as we speak. Putnam County, you guys are seeing the winds pick up right now, as well as Jenkinsville and Kegel Mill. So again, if you guys are in any of these areas, interior room, lowest level of your home, away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. 70 miles per hour is no joke. That is enough to do considerable damage to trees, power lines, and even roofs as well. Stay away from windows. Tree debris can break windows very easily, so you want to put yourself away from that and not put yourself in harm's way. Remember, this is night. It is dark outside, so you're not going to see the gust front coming, and you may not see the debris that is blowing around outside either, especially if you lose power. Street lights may turn off. It'll get pretty dark. So again, interior room away from windows. Probably a good idea to have some flashlights in your possession as well. Wabash, Indiana, you guys are in the clear right now. Nothing going on really across northern Indiana at this point in time. Penny-size hail is what is going on here with this thunderstorm. So sub-severe in terms of hail. In fact, let's go ahead and turn on our hail tracker here. We'll take a look at it for you. Again, I'm not seeing anything too significant in the way of hail, which is great. We don't need the hailstone to increase in size when we have 70-mile-per-hour winds. Wind-driven hail can amplify the damage that the hail is able to do because you have that forward momentum. But penny-size hail is what I see here, which is 0.75 diameter. For hail to be considered severe, we need that to reach 1-inch diameter or quarter-size hail. So we are a quarter of an inch below severe criteria in the hailstone. So that is good news. Let's keep it sub-severe in terms of hail. However, the wind is no joke with this severe thunderstorm. Has a considerable warning on it. That's a level 2 severe thunderstorm warning out of 3. We go baseline 60 mile per hour, 70 mile per hour is considerable, and then once we reach 80 miles per hour, it gets a destructive tag, which is a 3 out of 3. So we are at a 2 out of 3 in terms of severe thunderstorm warning level. So this is no joke. Take it seriously. Interior room, away from windows. Treat it as you would a weak tornado. It's what I always like to tell people when we have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Once we get in the 70-75 range, you're on the scale of a weak tornado, even though it's in the form of straight line winds. It's not tornadic at this point in time. But 70 to 75 miles per hour winds can cause damage on the scale of a weak tornado. It can cause significant tree damage. It can blow shingles off your roof. It can cause roof damage as well. So again, interior room away from windows. Tree debris can be dangerous. It can break windows, so that is another reason not to stand near windows, as they are prone to breaking. Interior room away from windows. Put as many layers. Think of it as in layers. How many layers do you have between you and the outside? The more layers, the better. So that's how you need to think of it. Interior room away from windows. Bathrooms, closets, stairways. All great ideas. Remember not to take elevators during severe thunderstorm warnings. Power goes out. You may be stuck in the elevator without a battery backup or generator to make that operational once again. So again, this is going to be moving towards the Indianapolis area for reference, right along the I-70 corridor. Columbus, Indiana, Bloomington, Indiana, you guys are in the clear that you are not at risk for this severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to move off to your north. So you guys are okay at this point in time. We'll have to watch areas downstream to see how this storm holds together. But again, 70 mile per hour winds is the only hazard here with this storm. Hail is below severe criteria. It's still a hazard. It's just not a severe hazard at this point in time, which, fingers crossed, we'll keep it that way, hopefully. Again, wind-driven hail can cause quite a bit of damage, so we don't want to see that hailstone increase in size. But 70 mile per hour winds now, approaching Greencastle, Cloverdale, right along the I-70 corridor and US 40 is what we have right now. Just now crossing US 231, coming towards Mount Meridian, Fillmore, Bell Union, Broad Park, Eminence, Cloverdale. That is currently where the strongest winds are, just south of the town of Morton, and Carpentersville, just to your south. South of US 36 is where the strongest winds are. Going to be approaching Danville, Plainville, Mooresville, probably here in the next 15 minutes or so. So again, if you're in any of these locations, interior room away from windows, put as many layers between you and the outside as possible until this storm has passed. Those of you in the all clear, Brazil, Terre Haute, Harrison, Clay City, you guys are all clear. Hopefully we don't see any more severe thunderstorm warnings for you guys. You guys can go to bed, rest easy, sleep in if you need to. Enjoy the holiday weekend. But that is not the case for you guys in Greencastle, Cloverdale, Mooresville, Plainville, or Danville. You guys are still under the gun, and the threat has yet to arrive for you. Coming into Greencastle right now, Greencastle, you're in it. Cloverdale likely seeing the winds increase right now, as is Mount Meridian as well. Stylesville, Coatesville, Eminence, again, interior room away from windows, lowest level of your home. 70-mile-per-hour winds is what the severe thunderstorm warning is warned for at this point in time. This is the strongest winds right here, especially where you see the pinks here and these brighter returns here. That's a nice pocket of 70-mile-per-hour winds here coming into Mount Meridian. Stylesville could have some very strong winds approaching you as we speak. So again, interior room away from windows. And do treat this as you would a tornado warning. Anytime you get a considerable tag on a severe thunderstorm warning, you get wind speeds that are on the scale of a weak tornado. However, these are not tornadic in nature. I don't see any rotation within the storm at this point in time, which is great news. We don't need any more tornadoes in Indiana. We've had enough already, I think. I think a lot of you guys would agree with that. But straight line winds can cause significant damage. Think of it like a giant steamroller or rolling pin coming, just moving in your direction. That is what straight line winds are. It's a down force, a downdraft of a thunderstorm. And they can cause quite a bit of damage here, especially when you get in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour. That is enough winds to blow trees down, power lines, and blow debris around as well. So again, don't want to be outside. Stay inside, sturdy structure, away from windows, lowest level of your home, and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, especially with a considerable warning here. 70-mile-per-hour winds are no joke. That is significant. That can cause significant power outages, significant damage as well to trees, power lines, and structures, especially roofs. So again, interior room away from windows. Strongest winds right now coming into the Mount Meridian area as I speak. Greencastle, you're in it. Fillmore, probably going to see the winds pick up here in the next 5 minutes, as well as Stylesville, Coatesville, Eminence, and Cloverdale. Cloverdale, the strongest winds are just to your north, riding right along I-70 and points northward. Going right along US 40 here is where that pocket of the strongest winds are associated with this thunderstorm between Greencastle and Cloverdale. A very nice pocket of potentially 70-mile-per-hour winds here. You can kind of see that bowed out front to it here. That's our gust front that is associated with these very strong winds here. This is going to move off to the north and east, moving at 75 miles an hour. So it's moving very fast. This is what most people drive on US 70 here, what you should drive on US 70. That's how fast this storm is moving. It's moving very, very quickly. We're also getting very close to the radar. Our radar beam is only a couple thousand feet off the ground. So what we're seeing here is likely on the ground itself. And what's really unique is when you get close to the radar here, you can see these bands, these striations of brighter colors here. That is pockets where the strongest winds is being funneled down to the ground, and you often see that in straight line wind events, and that is what we see here. Inside those individual pockets, those brighter stripes there, are pockets of 70-mile-per-hour winds, and even 75-mile-per-hour winds plus here, where you see those darker colors here, those darker blues. That's indicative of 75-mile-per-hour winds here, so significant wind gusts here right along US 40 here, coming into Stylesville, plan on 75-mile-per-hour winds approaching your location, 70 plus there in isolated pockets. That is enough to do significant tree damage, power outages, interior room away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible until the storm has passed. Wouldn't hurt to grab some flashlights to have that with you as well in case you lose power. This storm is going to be moving into the Danville area. Wouldn't be surprised to see a downstream warning issued here in advance as this storm moves further into Hendricks and Morgan County right now. The strongest wind gusts are right on the Putnam County line here, moving into Hendricks County and Morgan County. This severe thunderstorm warning still has a considerable tag on it for 70-mile-per-hour winds, and a considerable tag is a level 2 out of 3 on our severe thunderstorm warning criteria. We have a baseline of 60 miles per hour, considerable for 70, and then a destructive tag gets put on it if we have 80-mile-per-hour winds. We don't see 80 in here yet, but significant wind gusts nonetheless near Mount Meridian coming into Stylesville, Coatesville. This is likely lagging behind Stylesville. You guys are likely in it right now. Those of you downstream, you go ahead and zoom in here right along US 40, Clayton, Danville, Planville, Mooresville, and Eminence. Again, interior room away from windows. The strongest winds associated with this thunderstorm are along and north of I-70 at this current time, moving towards the Plainfield and Danville area. Plan on 70 miles per hour winds. That is significant. That is enough to do quite a bit of damage to trees, structures, and power lines. So do plan on that and take shelter accordingly. Interior room away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. There is some penny-sized hail associated with this thunderstorm. That is below severe criteria. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at our hail tracker here to see what is going on here. Again, I don't see much in the way of hail. Not a lot of hail here. Perhaps some peas, maybe up to penny-sized hail. But that is sub-severe, which is great news. We don't need large hailstones when we have a significant wind event here. Wind-driven hail can cause significant damage and can amplify the damage as well. And that is just something that we absolutely do not need. So, again, interior room, away from windows, and plan on 70-mile-per-hour winds here associated with this thunderstorm. And the National Weather Service in Indianapolis is right here, right where my cursor is here. Right on the I-70-74 corridor interchange here, that's the radar station. So we are very close to the radar here. So what we're seeing is likely on the ground occurring at this point in time, as the radar beam is only a few hundred feet off the ground at this location, up to about 1,000 feet. So we're very low. We're getting a very good look at the storm of what the winds are doing. You can see these stripes here, these striations here are brighter colors, these blue, turquoise, and even dark blue here along US 40. That's where the strongest winds are being funneled down to the ground in the form of straight line winds. So this storm is producing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, and that is occurring likely on the ground. So do treat it as such. This is a very dangerous storm, and this storm is producing power outages as well. Power outages has been returned. Confirmed by this severe thunderstorm. Paoli, Indiana, I see a lot of comments for that area. Nothing. You guys are in the clear. This is off to your north. You guys are not in the path of this severe thunderstorm warning. You guys are way to the south, so you guys are okay right now. Again, I can't give out specific locations. Will my town get hit by severe weather? Unfortunately, if you're not in the warning box, I can't tell you that right now. The entire state is at a general risk for severe weather tonight, with the greatest risk across central Indiana and southern Indiana. But again, our main focus is going to be on this severe thunderstorm warning right now. Extremely strong winds here, moving right into Stylesville, Clayton, Indiana. Wouldn't be surprised to see 75 plus in this band here of darker blue. We'll have to see what they do with the warning here if they upgrade it. Again, we are extremely close to the radar here, so extremely strong winds here associated with this thunderstorm here. I don't like to see that. Clayton, Indiana, plan on 75 plus miles per hour coming into town here. That is considerable. That is dangerous. That can cause significant tree damage. That can cause significant power outages as well. So again, interior room, treat it as you would a weak tornado. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible, away from windows. This is significant wind gusts here being picked up on radar. Moving into the Clayton area, this is in this is coming into Hendricks County has the strongest winds right now, just to the north of Morgan County. You have Morgan County down here, Hendricks County right here, Stylesville, Clayton, Indiana, with the strongest winds north of I-70. Could have some isolated pockets of strong winds coming into the Brookland area. Sub-severe at this point in time, strongest winds to your north, along and north of I-70, trailing right along US 40. That's where the pocket of strongest winds are right now, associated with our severe thunderstorm warning. Plainfield, Danville, plan on 70 plus mile per hour winds here. Probably some isolated pockets here of 75 miles per hour, if not getting close to 80 here. Very significant wind gusts here being depicted on radar. Again, our radar is right here. We're only a couple hundred feet off the ground, so what we're seeing is likely occurring on the ground, if not 100 feet or so above the ground. So very significant wind gusts here associated with this thunderstorm. Take it seriously. Don't downplay this if you're in the Clayton area, Plainfield area. Again, you need to get to shelter. Interior room, bathroom, closet, away from windows. Take this seriously. This is a very dangerous storm. It's producing very strong winds. I don't say that lightly. Straight line winds can be just as dangerous as a tornado. They can cause significant damage. It doesn't take a tornado to cause significant damage. Straight line winds can do all the same, especially when you have pockets here of 70 plus miles per hour. Just past Greencastle, no hail here so far. Great, thanks for that information. You guys are in the clear, actually. The strongest winds are off now to your east, so you guys can go back to bed, sleep in, and happy Easter. Enjoy your weekend. If you guys are in Greencastle and Cloverdale, you guys are in the clear. strongest winds right along US 40 here. We're likely going to see an extension here to include Indianapolis Metro here in the next few minutes here. We're likely going to see that warning extended here into Marion County here, Hancock, Shelby, Madison, Hamilton. You guys are all on deck here for probably a downstream warning here in the next few minutes. Would not be surprised to see that. In fact, if you guys are in Indianapolis Metro here, I would plan on at least 60 mile per hour winds. If the storm maintains itself, could have 70 mile per hour winds impacting Indianapolis Metro here in the next half an hour or less. The storm is racing off to the east-northeast at 70 to 75 miles an hour. It's moving very, very quickly. So if you guys are in Marion County, Indiana, we'll likely see an extension of this severe thunderstorm warning here in the next few minutes. In fact, there it is. It just popped up. Let me get that updated here on our Facebook page here. Well, it popped up and then disappeared. So I don't know if what was going on there, but we're likely going to see that downstream warning here. Waiting on it to pop up. There it is. Go ahead and read it here. They have downplayed this just a little bit. 60 mile per hour winds and penny-sized hail. But we're going to get a really good indication here of what the winds are actually doing here at the surface. As it goes over the radar, the National Weather Service has really good instrumentation and measurements there where they are able to sample this storm very thoroughly. You can see here on the latest scans, the velocities have weakened a little bit, which is great news. Great news to see, which is what you want to see as it approaches Plainfield, Danville, and Marion County here for Indianapolis Metro, especially Indianapolis. We just had a significant wind event about a week and a half ago, and that did significant damage throughout the city and areas to the north as well, Carmel area. So we don't need any more significant winds for the Indianapolis area. A lot of lightning associated with this as well, but again, 60 mile per hour winds and penny-sized hail is the going hazard here, which does include Indianapolis Metro, the entirety of Indianapolis Metro under a severe thunderstorm warning. And that does go into effect for another 36 minutes here, or until 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time is when this warning expires. So again, still a significant severe thunderstorm, has had a history of producing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. Could re-intensify at any time too, so do be ready for that, just in case these storms do intensify. Right now it is kind of on the weakening trend, which is great news. That's what we want to see. The warning has been downgraded from considerable to now a baseline severe thunderstorm warning, back to 60 miles per hour. So good news there. The hail size has not increased. It's remaining at penny-sized hail, which is subsevere at this point in time. That's what we want to see. Hopefully this trend continues. But again, if you're in Indianapolis Metro, take shelter, enter your room, steer away. Do not use elevators during this in case the power goes out. Not all buildings have backup generators to supply enough power for elevator use during the severe thunderstorm warning. So again, enter your room away from windows. And when you have severe thunderstorms in an urban setting, skyscrapers, tall buildings can actually amplify and manipulate the winds, changing directions, but also amplifying them at the surface as well. They can squeeze the winds, so you have an increased pressure gradient between the buildings down at street level, so that can amplify the winds in an urban setting as well. So do be prepared for strong winds downtown Indianapolis. 60 mile per hour winds, penny-sized hail. A lot of lightning and thunder in Muncie. Yeah, you guys are getting some heavy rain up there. No severe weather at this point in time. Strongest thunderstorm off to your south here. This does include the Greenfield area, Fishers, Lawrence, Indianapolis, and Noblesville. 60 mile per hour winds, penny-sized hail, all on deck for you. Right now, the strongest winds here are now moving through Clayton, Danville, moving towards Avon, Plainfield, and Brownsburg. You guys are on deck for 60 mile per hour winds, penny-sized hail. Muncie, Indiana, if the storm continues, could have some gusty winds, but you guys are not in the risk for severe weather at the immediate near term. That could change if the severe thunderstorm is able to hang on and sustain itself all the way to you guys. Hopefully that does not happen. Right now it is having a weakening trend, but it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on as the storm moves in your direction. So best advice for you guys in Muncie, keep an eye on it. Not under an immediate risk at this point in time, but something to keep an eye on as the storm moves off to the north and east at 70 miles an hour. Let's see what the speed is here. 65 miles an hour. So slowed down a little bit, but still moving fairly fast. Moving into Indianapolis Metro here over the next few minutes. Beech Grove getting heavy thunderstorm right now. Just south of Indianapolis Metro. This cell is not severe thunderstorm warned. It's actually the one behind it that has the warning associated with it. So getting some heavy rain, some lightning now in Indianapolis Metro within the 74 corridor here. 69-74 corridor as well. Getting in on some heavy rain and some lightning here. Strong winds moving into the Plainfield area here. This is our severe thunderstorm here that'll be moving into Indianapolis Metro here. Let's go ahead and time it out here for you. Let's treat it as 70 miles an hour here. The storm is moving between 65 and 70. Belleville, it's on top of you right now. Cartersburg, 2 minutes. Plainfield, 7. Avon, 7. 6.8. Glendale, 15 minutes. Speedway, edge of Indianapolis here, 13 minutes. Indiana University Health, 16 minutes. We have North Indianapolis at 17 minutes. Wendell, 16 minutes. In Indianapolis Metro, 17 minutes here. That is the look here at our timing here for our severe thunderstorm warning. So moving at a pretty good speed here, still approaching the radar here as well. We're going to get a very good sample of this thunderstorm as it goes over the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. They are responsible for this area here of counties, and they are the ones issuing the warnings here tonight across central Indiana. So, as always, hats off to the men and women working behind the radar desk in Indianapolis and other local offices here in the state of Indiana. They work very hard to keep you and I safe, so much appreciated to those individuals. So again, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail are the hazards here with this severe thunderstorm warning. It has been downgraded from a considerable tag with 70-mile-per-hour winds a little bit ago, now to 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. So that is some good news here. This storm is showing signs of weakening. Lots of lightning associated with this storm as well. We have lost a little bit of our cloud-to-ground lightning. Not quite as intense as what we once had, but plenty of cloud-to-cloud lightning for sure. Could be a couple loud thunderstorms waking you up here on this Saturday morning. But again, Indianapolis Metro, plan on 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you have any loose items outside on the street, go ahead and tie those down, pick those up, bring them inside the lobby until the storm has passed so you don't have to pick it up off the street later. Anytime you get a severe thunderstorm in an urban setting, skyscrapers can amplify or manipulate the winds at street level, both increasing the winds and changing the winds in different directions too. The skyscrapers can manipulate the winds and amplify the winds at the surface. So again, plan on 60-mile-per-hour winds in Indianapolis Metro here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. The severe thunderstorm warning does include all of Marion County, Indiana, but also includes northeastern Morgan County. It is currently moving out of Morgan County at this point in time. It does include northwestern Johnson County, eastern Hendricks County, which is moving out of as well at this point in time, Marion County, as well as southeastern Boone County and Hamilton County in central Indiana until 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This severe thunderstorm is moving into Marion County right now, with the strongest winds entering Marion County at this point in time. So interior room, away from windows. Do not use elevators during times of severe thunderstorm warnings. In case the power goes out, not all buildings have generator backup to supply power to those elevators. So again, elevators, not a good idea. Use a stairwell. Hunker down in a stairwell. Those are all very safe places to be during severe thunderstorms. Try to get to the lowest level you can. If you can't get all the way down to the ground, interior room away from windows, and get to an interior stairwell to ride it out. Those are all great places to be. Bathrooms, as long as you have multiple layers between you and the outside to protect you from flying debris and broken windows. Yeah, Muncie, Indiana, you guys are getting a thunderstorm right now, but subsevere at this point in time. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana. Areas elsewhere across the state getting some rain and thunderstorm activity, but they are not severe at this point in time. They are subsevere. So you guys are okay across northern Indiana at this point in time. Just general rain and thunderstorms at this point in time. our only severe thunderstorm warning is across central Indiana for Indianapolis Metro. So if you're not in Indianapolis Metro or areas surrounding it, you guys are in the clear at this point in time. Noblesville, yeah, heads up, could have some 60-mile-per-hour winds approaching to your location or skirting by just to your south. You guys are right on the edge of the severe thunderstorm warning, so I have to track it closely for you guys. But again, strong winds coming into Indianapolis Metro right now, getting ready to move over the National Weather Service in Indianapolis at this point in time. Areas such as Indianapolis downtown, Lawrence, Fishers, Greenfield, and Greenwood on deck for 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail associated with this thunderstorm here. The storm is on a weakening trend here, so hopefully that trend continues. But still, nonetheless, playing on 60-mile-per-hour winds here. This is a pretty powerful thunderstorm. We're not getting the best cross-section right now as we're going over the immediate radar site. As we move away from the radar just a little bit, we get a better idea of what is going on visually on radar. The National Weather Service is sampling this storm as I speak. Their instrumentation is measuring the winds, temperature, dew point, and everything to do with this thunderstorm real time as it moves over their office. They have really sophisticated instrumentation there, so we're going to get a really good look here. As this thunderstorm, as it moves over Indianapolis, so the hardworking men and women there at the National Weather Service are analyzing this data as I speak, so great news there. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 27 minutes here, and does include counties such as western Hancock, northeastern Morgan, northwestern Johnson, eastern Hendricks County, Marion County, Boone County, and Hamilton County until 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the only hazard here associated with the storm. Hail is no longer a hazard here. Could have a few pennies and peas mixed in there, but again, the hail is below severe criteria, which is good news. For hail to be severe, we need 1-inch diameter or greater, which is quarter-size hail for reference. Penny-size hail and pea-size hail, although a hazard, is not severe. So hopefully that trend continues. But we do have a damaging wind risk to talk about here with this thunderstorm. 60-mile-per-hour winds associated with the thunderstorm. Moving into Indianapolis here, they did trim the warning back just a little bit. They have upped it to 70-mile-per-hour winds, so the National Weather Service likely taking measurements there. So considerable warning here now has been upgraded from 60 to 70, likely from those measurements by the National Weather Service. Radar indicated here 70-mile-per-hour winds, so downtown Indianapolis of extremely strong winds still occurring with this thunderstorm as it moves into downtown Indianapolis. So we did see that upgrade there, likely as the storm is being sampled by the National Weather Service. They have enough confidence from measurements to go ahead and issue and upgrade that severe thunderstorm warning to a considerable warning, which is the level 2 out of 3. We have a baseline at 60. 70 miles an hour is considerable, and once we get to 80 miles an hour, that's a destructive tag. That's a 3 out of 3 on our severe thunderstorm warning criteria. So we're at a level 2 out of 3 on our warning here. Entering Indianapolis, so again, interior room, away from windows, a considerable tag on this. 70-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. 70 miles per hour winds is enough to do significant damage. It can blow down power lines, gallop streetlights, and cause quite a bit of damage. And moving into an urban center here, skyscrapers and buildings can manipulate those winds. They can actually amplify winds at the surface. You get a tighter pressure gradient between the winds as the winds are squeezed between those buildings and brought down to the ground. So wouldn't be surprised to see some stronger winds at the surface as those buildings catch the winds, bring them down, and you have that difference in pressure between the buildings as well that can amplify wind speeds at the surface. So a very dangerous situation for Indianapolis. I know we just had a significant wind event a week and a half ago, but we're doing it again here. Another considerable tag. Not quite as strong as what we had a week and a half ago, but still significant nonetheless. Treat it with caution. Take it seriously. Interior rooms, do not use elevators with this storm. Again, interior room, away from windows, and use stairwells. And here's a live look near Speedway. This is I-70 at the Sam's Jones Expressway here. Whiteout conditions here. You can see the tractor trailers have their hazard lights on. Look at the winds blowing. This is facing west. Winds are blowing from right to left here. Whiteout conditions are occurring here with this severe thunderstorm as it enters Indianapolis Metro here. Look how strong the winds are. You see horizontal rain here, winds blowing at 60 to 70 miles an hour here associated with this thunderstorm. So a very powerful thunderstorm moving into Indianapolis metro here. Has a considerable tag on it. 70-mile-per-hour winds associated with this thunderstorm, approaching I-74 right now as I speak. So again, a very strong thunderstorm moving into Indianapolis metro. Speedway, you guys are getting in it right now. West Newton, Indianapolis metro, Drexel Gardens, Fairview Station. You guys are all seeing that increase in wind right now as I speak. 70-mile-per-hour winds are the going hazards here with this storm, as well as penny-size hail. The National Weather Service likely sampling that data as it went over the National Weather Service's office there. So again, considerable tag. That's a 2 out of 3 severe thunderstorm warning. It goes baseline, which is 60 and quarter. Considerable 70-mile-per-hour winds. And then a destructive tag, which is a 3 out of 3 for 80-mile-per-hour winds. We don't have 80 yet, but we do have 70-mile-per-hour winds. You can see the strong winds here now being funneled down. Indianapolis metro right now getting in on these stronger winds as I speak. So again, very strong winds moving into Indianapolis metro here. So again, interior room, away from windows, treat it as you would a weak tornado. Significant winds here of 70 plus can be on the scale of a weak tornado. Although they are not tornadic, straight line winds can cause significant damage. So treat it as you would a weak tornado is what I always like to tell people when we have that considerable warning. Just because straight line winds are not to be taken lightly. They can cause significant damage and have caused significant damage, as well as isolated power outages here tonight across central Indiana. This storm is moving off to the north and east at 65 miles an hour, so moving fairly fast as the storm continues to race across central Indiana. Anderson, Indiana, Greenfield, Fishers, Noblesville, you guys are on deck here. Anderson, not in a severe thunderstorm warning yet. We'll have to see how this severe thunderstorm holds together as it moves off to the east-northeast at 65 miles an hour. Strongest winds right now coming in the Meridian Hills, Indianapolis, Warren Park, Lawrence, Beech Grove, now getting in on the strongest winds here associated with this thunderstorm. This is moving off to the east-northeast at 65 miles an hour. You can see those brighter striations here. Those are narrow corridors where the wind is getting funneled down to the ground here. So we could have some significant wind gusts to 70 miles an hour associated with this thunderstorm. That's enough to cause significant tree damage, power outages, as well as some structure damage as well. So again, interior room, away from windows, until you hear the all clear. Those of you from Brownsburg, Avon, Plansfield, and points westward, you guys are in the clear from this severe thunderstorm warning. Just getting some rain and lightning at this point in time. Strongest winds right now. Indianapolis Metro, Meridian Hill, Zionsville, coming into the Carmel area, Lawrence, Indianapolis, Beech Grove, along the 465-69 corridor here as the storm continues to exit Marion County, Indiana. And here's a live look at I-65 here. This is at North Split. Look at the winds here. This is facing into the winds here. You can see the winds blowing towards the camera here. Significant wind gusts here, likely 60 to perhaps 70 miles an hour. Moving here right along the freeway here. You can see a lot of the tractor trailers do have their hazard lights on as visibility is quite low. The winds are quite strong. You can see the cable here shaking here as the camera is shaking here as the winds now are moving out of the city and into the Fishers area, Carmel area, Lawrence, McCordsville, and Beech Grove area could have some significant wind gusts here associated with this severe thunderstorm. Counties on deck include Hamilton County, Madison County, Hancock County would be counties on deck here from this severe thunderstorm warning. It does include southern Hamilton County here. Madison County, you guys are not in a severe thunderstorm warning yet. We could see an extension over the next few minutes here if this storm does remain severe. So Anderson, Indiana, I-69, Pendleton, LaPaul, Ingalls, be on deck in case the severe thunderstorm warning is extended into Madison County, Indiana. It does include Hancock County as well as does not include Shelby County. This is going to go just off to your north and west. Shelbyville, you guys are in the clear. I don't see anything for you guys right now. Northern Indiana, rain and general thunderstorms approaching for you guys. Sub-severe at this point in time. Go ahead and take a look at that here briefly. You can see some thunderstorms, some heavier downpours, as well as some small hail, but these storms are not severe at this point in time. Could have some small hail, though. Peas to penny size can't be ruled out in some of the stronger cores there. But severe weather, the risk overall tonight is on the lower side. We don't expect widespread severe weather, but a few severe thunderstorm warnings can't be ruled out, as we've seen here this evening here with this severe thunderstorm, which is still in progress here. Again, pretty strong winds here around the Lawrence area fissures. You can see the apex of this gust front here now moving into Hamilton County and Hancock County here, far northwest Hancock County here. We're likely going to see a downstream warning here to include Madison County, Indiana in the next few minutes here. Still showing signs of some significant winds there south of the Fishers, Indiana area. So pretty strong winds here moving into Fishers, Indiana and outside Lawrence, Indiana. If you guys are near Speedway, Indiana, on the west side of Indianapolis, you guys are in the clear. The strongest gust front has moved off to your north and east here as it moves towards Fishers, just skirting right by Noblesville, Indiana, moving into Madison County, Indiana. Likely see a downstream warning here in the next few minutes here. We have to see what the National Weather Service deems necessary here. They have far more advanced tools than what we do here. It's pretty cool what all they have. Is Carmel clear? No. Your strongest winds are entering Carmel right now as I speak. If not just to your south, be in your safe place in Carmel. You guys do not have the all clear at this point in time. Give it another 5-10 minutes here, and you guys will be okay. But again, pretty decent winds here. You can see the striations here are brighter colors. That's some stronger straight line winds being funneled down to the ground here, likely 60 to 70 miles an hour here. This warning does have a considerable tag on it for 70 mile per hour winds, penny size hail, which is 3/4 inch diameter. Once we get to quarter size, that's when the hail becomes severe, but we do not have severe hail at this point in time. This warning is for the wind associated with this severe thunderstorm, as you can see in our brighter colors here. That is straight line winds being funneled down to the ground. 60 to 70 mile per hour winds in these stronger bands here mixing down. So Fishers, Noblesville, Lawrence, Indiana. Again, interior room away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. Think of it in that way. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. Kyle asks, tornado threat low today? Yes, it is. We don't really have all the ingredients needed for tornadoes. They're not zero today, but they are quite low in nature. I don't expect any tornadoes today. Not impossible, but low. But anytime you have a significant or considerable warning on a severe thunderstorm warning, once you get that 70 mile per hour or greater, treat it as you would a tornado warning. 70 mile per hour winds are considerable. That's enough to do quite a bit of damage to area trees, structures. Your 70 mile per hour are on the same scale as perhaps a weak tornado, though it's not rotational. It is downdraft, so you have a pushing of down air associated with that downdraft in the form of straight line winds. It can cause significant damage, power outage impacted by straight line wind damage, so treat it as you would a tornado warning. We do have a downstream severe thunderstorm warning. Does include Newcastle and Muncie, Indiana. So those of you in Muncie were asking earlier if this were to impact your area, and that all depended on how this is holding together, but this severe thunderstorm is maintaining its own. So go ahead and read off this severe thunderstorm warning. They have left it at 70 mile per hour winds. Does include now southern Madison County in central Indiana. Hancock County, Randolph County has now been added, as well as Delaware County, Henry County, Marion County, and Hamilton County until 6:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This storm is moving northeast at 70 miles an hour, so still moving very, very quickly. This is freeway speed, what you drive on the interstate. I-70, 69, that's how fast this storm is moving. 75 miles per hour east-northeast. This is located from near Carmel, 8 miles east of Beech Grove, moving northeast at 75 miles an hour. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts is the associated hazard here with this severe thunderstorm warning. A pocket of very strong winds here, exiting Marion County here, coming into Hamilton County, and extreme northwest Hancock County, moving into Madison County. So again, Anderson, Indiana, Pendleton, Indiana, Ingalls, Fortville, Greenfield, interior room away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. 70-mile-per-hour winds is no joke. That can cause significant damage to trees, power lines, and can cause power outages as well. So stay away from windows. It is dark outside. You're not going to see the gust front coming or flying debris that'll be associated with the storm as well, being blown around by winds. You can see the brighter pockets here. So some significant wind gusts here just north of McCordsville, along US 36 here, moving towards the Pendleton area, Fortville, Fishers, Indiana. There's quite a bit of winds here. If you guys are in this location, let me know what you're seeing. Put your reports in chat. We'd love to see here. We have a lot of people watching here, as well as a few meteorologists in chat as well. So great to see you guys in here. Let us know what you guys are seeing. Let us know if you have any damage reports. They can be prior to this moment as well. Old reports are okay. Old reports are better than no reports. We use the tell message here. So go ahead and do a time, event, location on what you have here and what you see. So strongest winds now moving into Madison County, Indiana, moving out of Hamilton County, Indiana, going to skirt northwestern portions of Hancock County. So again, Madison County, interior room, away from windows, anywhere from Anderson, Indiana, Pendleton, Indiana, Ingalls, likely seeing that increase in wind as I speak right now. It's likely on top of you right now, moving into the Pendleton area as well. So some very strong winds here, still affecting portions of Hamilton County, moving into Madison County here. And this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 41 minutes here. Has a considerable tag on it. 70-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail, which is 3/4 inch in diameter, which is good. We need to keep the hail size low. Wind-driven hail can cause quite a bit of damage, and we don't need that hail size to increase. But nonetheless, significant wind gusts here associated with this thunderstorm. Christopher says, just had heavy winds in Castleton, Indiana, and the power was flickering, but it's calmed down a bit. Yeah, that's good to hear. Hopefully the power outages are kept to a minimum tonight. But again, 70-mile-per-hour winds can cause down power lines, tree damage, and structure damage as well. So again, treat this with caution. Interior room, away from windows, bathrooms, closets, all great ideas on the lowest level of your home. Basement preferred, but if you do not have a basement, a lot of us don't, go to the lowest level of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible if you can, and ride this storm out. Pouring in Noblesville with wind. Yeah, I believe it. Noblesville, you're just on the north side with the strongest winds just to your south, but again, stay in your safe place. Could still have some strong winds there, if not severe criteria there for the Noblesville area as it exits Hancock County and into Marion County. Yes, I can, Ryan. Yes, I don't have him in here. Bear with me here, working on comms here behind the scenes with another staff member. He may be wanting to help out. All right, sorry about that, guys. Again, considerable warning here. This is for southern Madison County, central Indiana, Hancock County, and central Indiana, southwestern Randolph County, Delaware County, Henry, Marion, and Hamilton County until 6:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 70-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail are the going hazards here. Strongest winds exiting Marion County, Hancock County, moving into Madison County, Indiana, Anderson area, Pendleton area. You guys are all on deck for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Interior room, away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. treat this as you would a weak tornado. Anytime we get a considerable warning, winds are strong enough to actually cause similar damage to that of a tornado. Significant damage is possible, though I don't see any rotation here. I don't expect any tornadoes tonight in Indiana. 70-mile-per-hour winds are no joke. That can cause significant tree damage, power lines, and some structure damage as well, which is why we say interior room, away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. If you are near an exterior wall, you put yourself at risk for flying debris. The debris can be blown through exterior walls and break windows as well, which is why we say put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. Strongest winds right now moving right along the I-69 corridor here, southern Madison County here, south of Anderson, Noblesville, Fishers, moving into the Pendleton area, Ingalls area as I speak. Markleville, Middletown, you guys are on deck here in the next few minutes for 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, especially along the Pendleton areas, and 69 corridor here could have some significant wind gusts to 70 mile per hour winds, where you see the brighter reflectivity here. Let's turn on our hail tracker here. Let's go ahead and look at this. This is called VIL. This is what we use to see updrafts intensity here associated with this thunderstorm. Good news, I don't really see much in the way of hail anymore with this thunderstorm, which is great news. However, that is not the case with our severe thunderstorm winds. We have significant wind gusts ongoing here with this severe thunderstorm. A pretty intense pocket, might I say, of severe winds moving into Madison County, Indiana. I-69 moving into the Pendleton area, US 36, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds here associated with this thunderstorm as it moves into Madison County, Indiana. Northern Hancock County also getting in on some stronger winds here, perhaps 60 miles per hour. Northern Hancock County outside of McCordsville, Fortville, winds will be dying down here for you shortly. If you guys are in Zionsville, Indianapolis, Beech Grove, Greenwood, or points westward, you guys are all clear. Go ahead and sleep in, rest easy, and enjoy your weekend. Have a happy Easter. Have a blessed Easter as well. You guys are in the clear. Areas to the north, Kokomo getting a window rattler up there. Have a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning up there, but sub-severe at this point in time, which is good news. And same thing with areas across northern Indiana, Logansport, South Bend, and getting a few thunderstorms up there, but sub-severe at this point in time. Our only severe thunderstorm warning is down here in central Indiana. Moving into Madison County right now for the strongest portion of this severe thunderstorm warning. Northern Hancock County also getting in on this warning. 60 mile per hour winds possible for Hancock County between Greensfield and State Road 9 up to Fortville. Strongest winds just here north into Madison County. Pendleton and Indiana getting into some very strong winds right now along the I-69 corridor. This is going to move into Delaware County and northern Henry County. Newcastle, Indiana, we're going to have to watch you closely. Right now, the strongest winds look to trend just off to your north and west. We'll have to watch that very closely. If you're in Newcastle, I'd have your severe weather action plans ready to go and be ready to take shelter if need be. You guys are included in this severe thunderstorm warning, so I would treat it as such. Interior room away from windows. Same with the Muncie area. Interior room away from windows, lowest level of your home. Basement preferred if you don't have a basement. A lot of us don't. Stairwell, bathroom. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible to protect you from debris and the strong winds that can cause significant damage to trees, power lines, as well as structures. Upstairs or near windows or anywhere outdoors is not safe from a severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in an RV trailer, try to seek shelter inside of a sturdy structure if you can with a fixed foundation. You don't want the air to get underneath your structure. That's what makes mobile homes and trailers so dangerous, is when that air gets underneath, you pose risk for rolling, and your structure can become compromised very, very quickly. Those structures also do not protect you from flying debris, as they can inundate the structure very easily, so that you're putting yourself at greater risk sheltering inside a trailer or a mobile home. So again, try to get to your fixed shelter if possible. Sturdy building with a fixed foundation if you can, until this storm has passed. Right now, the strongest winds are along I-69, just south of Anderson. Going to be moving towards the Muncie area here probably in the next 25 to 30 minutes here as well. Again, no signs of rotation here with this thunderstorm. Again, the tornado risk is very low tonight, which is good. It's what we want to see. We don't need any more tornadoes for Indiana. 45 is enough. In fact, it's over double our annual average here for Indiana. We average 22. We're at 45. So we're more than double our annual average here for Indiana for tornadoes. So I think we're all good. for tornadoes for the year. Hopefully we don't see any more. Tornado sirens just started in Fishers. Yeah, a lot of municipalities, EMAs, will issue outdoor warning sirens. I don't like to call them tornado warnings or tornado warning sirens, as a lot of EMAs also issue them for severe thunderstorm warnings, especially when we reach the considerable tag. They are considered outdoor warning sirens. They are to warn those outdoors who need to seek shelter indoors from this approaching severe thunderstorm warning. So not surprised to hear that warning sirens have been activated for some municipalities. Again, every municipality is different. Every municipality has different warning criteria for when they issue those and sound those sirens. But again, take shelter, enter your room away from windows, put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. More of a wind threat now. I don't see much hail on radar, which is great to see, but we do have significant wind gusts here traveling right along the I-69 corridor, Penaville, Markerville, and Middletown, Indiana. 60 to 70 mile per hour winds here, especially where you see these brighter pockets here on relative velocity. Could have some stronger winds mixing down to the surface, perhaps 70 miles per hour. This can cause significant tree damage, power lines to go down, power outages, as well as some structure damage as well. So again, enter your room away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. If you're driving on I-69, try to find a pull-off, gas station, rest stop. Try to find a fixed structure to take shelter in. Do not shelter under an overpass, as straight line winds of this magnitude can be amplified underneath a overpass. It's called the Bernoulli effect. It's the same effect that makes airplanes fly. You get lower pressure and increased pressure around overpasses, and that can actually increase the wind velocities underneath those overpasses, which make them exceptionally dangerous to shelter underneath. So again, don't shelter under an overpass. Find a rest stop, gas station, anywhere where you have a fixed foundation of a structure. Those are great places to take shelter while the storm passes if you are out on the roadways. But again, yeah, the tornado risk is quite low. As Brandon just commented there, 0.7% chance. Again, not zero, but quite low. But anytime you get a significant straight line wind event like this, you can have what's called mesovortices spin up on the leading edge, where you get different speeds and velocities of these winds, and that can create little eddies on the leading edge where you can get a brief spin up tornado. So again, not impossible, but low. We don't have a lot of ingredients to really support tornadoes in Indiana tonight, so I wouldn't worry about them too much. However, it is possible, but non-zero. Right now, straight line winds, greatest hazard here with this severe thunderstorm warning here in Madison County right now. Strongest winds going to be moving towards Delaware County and northwestern Henry County in east central Indiana, Muncie, Indiana, Middletown, Indiana, Cohen, Springport, Sulphur Springs, State Road 3 here, State Road 67, I-69. Strongest winds just off to the northwest of Markville here, coming into New Columbus, Indiana. Very strong winds here. You can see what looks like a backward comma head here. This is where your gust front is. What's called a rear inflow jet has kicked in here associated with this thunderstorm, or also called an RIJ. What a rear inflow jet is, it's when you get an area of elevated spin or rotation, not tornadic, but in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. This is actually enhance the wind speeds at the surface, and that's what we're seeing here. Think of it as an exhaust system of a thunderstorm. You have some downdrafts getting pulled down, rain-cooled air being pulled down to the ground, and that is increasing our wind velocities at the surface here. Right along the I-64, or I-69 corridor, rather, New Columbus, Huntsville, Pendleton, Mechanicsburg, Honey Creek, Middletown, Indiana, coming into Delaware, and Henry County, Indiana, under a severe thunderstorm warning for 70 miles per hour winds. Actually, I take that back. It has been upgraded to destructive. That is the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning we can have. It goes baseline of 60, considerable 70, destructive for 80. So this is the level 3 out of 3 for our severe thunderstorm warning. Destructive, 80 mile per hour winds now. Let's go ahead and read this warning here. 80 mile per hour wind gust radar indicated flying debris would be dangerous to those caught without shelter. This is why our outdoor warning sirens have been sounded by local municipalities and EMAs for areas impacted within the severe thunderstorm warning. This is an exceptionally dangerous storm here. Anytime you get a rear inflow jet kicking in, you can really enhance the wind speeds at the surface, which is what we're seeing here. Muncie, Indiana, interior room, away from windows. Treat this as you would a tornado warning. I don't see any rotation here, but 80 mile per hour winds is no joke. That can cause significant tree damage, power lines, widespread power outages, significant structure damage as well. 80 mile per hour winds can cause roof damage. So again, lowest level of your home, away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. Shelter in place as if you would a tornado warning. This is not tornadic in nature, but 80-mile-per-hour winds is on the scale of a weak tornado, so treat it as such. Though this is in the form of straight-line winds, not tornadic, 80-mile-per-hour winds can cause significant tree damage, power line damage, and power outages as well. It's no joke. Interior room, away from windows, lowest level of your home, bathroom, closets, all great ideas. If you're in a mobile home, trailer, try to find a fixed structure, storm shelter if you can. Otherwise, try to find a house to shelter in until the storm has passed. Anything with a fixed foundation is great. Do not shelter in your vehicle. If you're on the roadways, do not shelter under an overpass, as winds can be amplified underneath those structures. This is moving right along I-69, coming to the middle of town right now. 80-mile-per-hour winds possible here, anywhere you see these brighter oranges here. 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds here being indicated by radar here. This is a destructive tag. This is the level 3 out of 3 on our severe thunderstorm warning criteria, so a very dangerous storm. Moving into northern Hancock counties, northern Henry County, as well as southern Delaware County in east central Indiana. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 27 minutes here, or also until, see here, 6:30 a.m. This storm is moving north and east very, very quickly, 75 miles an hour. So this is moving freeway speeds. What you drive on Interstate 69 or 70, or what you should drive on the freeways, is how fast this storm is moving. So again, a very dangerous storm here tonight or this morning here across east central Indiana. Muncie, Indiana, Cohen, Indiana, Springport, you guys have about 5 to 10 minutes here to take shelter. Bring flashlights with you. Interior room, lowest level of your home. Please take shelter if you are in the warning area here. This is a very dangerous storm. It's still dark outside. Keep that in mind. You're not going to see the gust front coming until it hits you. Another reason to be in your safe place ahead of this storm. It's moving extremely fast. This is extremely dangerous. Interior room, away from windows, lowest level of your home. Bathroom, closet, treat it as you would a tornado warning. Though there is no tornado indicated on radar here, I don't see any rotation. 80-mile-per-hour winds is on the scale of a weak tornado in terms of wind speed. So again, treat it as such. Interior room, away from windows. Flying debris can be dangerous to those caught outside or inside next to an exterior wall or windows. Flying debris can inundate exterior walls and shatter windows. So again, don't put yourself at risk. Put yourself with as many layers between you and the outside as possible until given the all clear. Those of you in the all clear, if you guys are in Noblesville, Fishers, Indiana, Lawrence, Indiana, you guys are all clear. Rest easy, have a great Easter, and enjoy your weekend. But if you guys are in Delaware County, Henry County, Yorktown, Muncie, Newcastle, Indiana, you guys are not in the clear. You guys need to be sheltering in place. Yeah, tornado sirens just went off in Noblesville. Not surprised to hear that. A lot of times EMAs will sound those outdoor warning sirens, especially when you have a considerable tag or a destructive tag like we have here on our severe thunderstorm warnings. This is an exceptionally dangerous thunderstorm here moving into east central Indiana. If you guys are in Muncie, Anderson, Middletown, you guys need to be sheltering in place right now. Anderson, winds are probably going to be dying down here for you in the next few minutes here. Let me know if you guys have any damage. If you guys live in the Anderson, Middletown area, or even Muncie, let me know what's going on at your location, but I need you to be sheltering in place. Do not look out the window. Do not be on your porch. This is not a sit on your front porch and watch kind of event. This is a shelter in place event, and you need to treat it as such, okay? Muncie, Indiana, Yorktown, Indiana, right along State Road 67, approaching US 35 here. 80-mile-per-hour winds here. Radar indicated here by this storm. These winds are strong enough to down power lines, trees, large mature trees can go down with these types of winds. It can cause significant structure damage as well. So again, interior room, away from windows, lowest level of your home, treat it as you would a tornado warning. I know outdoor warning sirens are sounding in many area towns, and this is because of the intensity of this storm. Local EMAs are issuing a lot of these warnings here. Yeah, Brittany, don't be scared. Just be prepared. Interior room, lowest level of your home. No need to panic. Panicking is not a way to go during severe weather. Bring a flashlight with you. Bathroom, if you have a bathroom closet, I encourage you to go to that location and write it out. You should be okay if you put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. So in the event of severe weather, it's never good to panic or freak out. Just be prepared. Have an action plan in place, implement that plan, and write it out. That's the best way to go forward, and try not to be too scared. Just be real methodical, deep breaths. You guys are going to be all right? And stay with us here. We'll walk you through it here as the storm passes through and enters in the Muncie area here in the next 5 minutes. State Road 67, strongest winds coming into the Yorktown area. Camac Station, good restaurant there, by the way. Muncie, Indiana, Cohen, Indiana, Springport, State Road 3. These winds are approaching you in the next 5 minutes here. Yeah, again, guys, don't be scared. Be prepared. I know severe weather is very frightening, especially at night. You can't see it. I get that. But again, into your room, away from windows, write it out. Have some flashlights with you. You guys will be okay. I promise, as long as you shelter in place, put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. Anderson, Indiana, you guys are in the clear. Strongest winds are now off to your east, but again, be cautious going outside in case there are any power lines down, trees damage. Watch out for damage outside as it is still dark. This does have a destructive tag on it. We're likely going to see a downstream warning here to include perhaps Randolph County and potentially Jay County as well. Blatford County is going to go just to your south, but if you're in Portland or Winchester, Indiana, I would start having your severe weather action plan ready to go. Be ready to implement that if you're in Randolph County, the Winchester area and areas downstream. Be prepared for a severe thunderstorm capable of producing at least 70 miles per hour winds. We'll have to see how strong the winds are maintaining as it enters Winchester, Indiana, and Randolph County. However, I would have your severe weather action plan ready to go, get your safety kits ready to go, and your flashlights ready to go, and be ready to go into your safe place in Randolph County for this downstream warning if it is indeed issued. And I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be issued at this point in time. If you're in the strongest winds right now, far northern Henry County and southern Delaware County, coming into the south side of Muncie as I speak. Winds are probably increasing right now in Muncie, Indiana, Cohen, Indiana, State Road 3, Indiana, north of Newcastle, Indiana. 70 to 80 mile per hour winds being reported here by radar. This is a destructive warning. This is a level 3 out of 3 on our severe thunderstorm warning criteria. We go baseline at 60 miles per hour, considerable at 70, and destructive at 80. We are at a destructive warning, a level 3 out of 3. This is the highest severe thunderstorm warning we can have. A very dangerous situation here this morning on this Saturday morning. Strongest winds now in Muncie, Indiana, Cohen, Indiana, Springport, coming to Brownsville, Selma, Indiana. Farmland, be ready for 70 to 80 mile per hour winds here in the next 15 minutes. This is a very dangerous storm. You guys need to be sheltering in place. Yeah, Bethany, no need to be scared. As long as you guys are sheltering in place, write it out, you guys should be okay. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Bathroom, closet, basement preferred if you don't have one. A lot of people don't have basements. Again, enter your room away from windows. I can't stress that enough. Away from windows. Strongest winds now, moving into Muncie, Indiana. 70 to 80 mile per hour winds now, moving into town. So again, lowest level of your home, away from windows. Treat this as you would a tornado warning. Picking up in South Muncie now, yeah, I believe it. Pretty strong winds here coming into Muncie. Again, treat it as you would a tornado warning. Interior room, away from windows. Put as many walls. Think of it as layers. We want to have layers between your body and the outside elements. So put as many walls between you and the outside as possible until the storm has passed. Those of you in Anderson and points westward, you guys are in the clear. As we look elsewhere around the state here tonight, heavier thunderstorms moving outside Kokomo, north of Howard County, getting ready to move into, I believe, Wabash County. But sub-severe at this point in time. Could have some small hail up there, but nothing as significant as what our severe thunderstorm warning is here for Henry and Delaware County. Again, probably going to see a downstream warning issued for Jay or Randolph County in the next few minutes here. So again, Winchester, Indiana, Portland, Indiana. I would have your severe weather action plan ready to go just in case a severe thunderstorm warning is issued for your location. And at this point, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. Muncie, Indiana, interior room. Strongest winds are occurring right now. Getting ready to cross US 35 towards Selma, Parker City, Farmland, Modoc, and Dalton. Get ready for 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, if not 80 mile per hour winds possible here. This is a destructive warning here, is in effect for another 19 minutes here. Likely see a downstream warning here issued shortly. This is a very dangerous storm, a very dangerous situation. You guys need to be in your safe place away from windows. This is a very destructive storm, a very dangerous storm. And this is in fact until 6:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're likely going to see a downstream extension to this warning, likely for Randolph County and perhaps Southern Jay County. There's a couple different offices here. We have a trade-off between the National Weather Service in Northern Indiana and Indianapolis between Randolph and Jay County. So they're probably coordinating right now on what they need to do. So again, interior room, away from windows. Treat this as you would a tornado warning. No tornado is on the ground. This is straight line winds, but 80-mile-per-hour winds are on the scale of a weak tornado in terms of wind speed. So this is not to be taken lightly. This is a very serious situation and a very dangerous situation here. For Henry and Delaware County, Randolph County, those of you in Randolph County and Southern Jay County, I would have your severe action plans ready to go. This is a very dangerous storm here. Go ahead and kind of, I do kind of want to switch between radars here. We're in between radars here. Yeah, Indianapolis is still showing it best here. We are closer to that. We do have a special weather statement for Wayne County, Indiana. This is on the southern end of that severe thunderstorm warning. 50-mile-per-hour winds and pea-sized hail. So again, sub-severe but strong. 50-mile-per-hour winds are no joke. That can blow some trash cans around and loose items to blow around as well. So if you're in Wayne County, could have some loose items blown around. If you're in Muncie, Indiana, again, Henry County, Delaware County, you guys are in the soup right now. 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds, if not 80-mile-per-hour winds, are possible. Winchester, Indiana, you guys are on deck. Randolph County, have to see if we get a downstream warning here issued. Also keep in mind the radar beam at this location is several thousand feet above the ground. We're about 5,000 to 6,000 feet off the ground at this location. So the winds that we're getting depicted on radar may not be actually occurring on the ground, but nonetheless, treat it as if they are. Destructive warning here still in effect, 80-mile-per-hour winds. This is a destructive storm. This is the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning that we can have. So again, treat it as such, interior room, away from windows, lowest level of your home, basement preferred. If you don't have a basement, a lot of us don't. Closet, bathroom, all great ideas. Underneath stairwells, just put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Treat it as you would a tornado warning is how we need to go about this severe thunderstorm warning until it passes. Muncie, we're probably going to calm down here in the next 5 minutes or so. The worst of the winds have passed. Just waiting on our velocities to catch back up. High winds in Muncie right now, yeah, probably still seeing some. Give it a few more minutes and we should see that start to die down. Those of you in the path here, Winchester, Indiana, Portland, Indiana, be on deck for 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds, perhaps 80-mile-per-hour winds. We'll have to see. So the National Weather Service in Northern Indiana did not issue a severe thunderstorm warning. However, Indianapolis has extended that warning to Randolph County, 70-mile-per-hour winds with a considerable tag. So they have dropped the destructive tag, but still a very serious and dangerous storm. 70-mile-per-hour winds is no joke. That can cause significant tree damage, power lines to go down, and some structure damage as well. So treat it. Still treat it as a tornado warning. Interior room, away from windows. This does include Winchester, Indiana, Lynn, Indiana, Farmland, and Ridgeville, Indiana. And again, if you're in Southern Jay County, again, I would treat it as if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning as well. Some of the strongest winds are going to ride the Randolph-Jay County line there. So if your area is south of Portland, I would treat it as if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning as well, just to be on the safe side. Interior room, lowest level of your home, away from windows. But 70-mile-per-hour winds is what this has allowed to been downgraded to. Though it is a downgrade, it is still a significant storm. It is still a dangerous storm. So interior room, away from windows, lowest level of your home. Upstairs is never a good idea to shelter from a severe thunderstorm warning. You need to be at the lowest level of your home, away from windows. Interior room if you can. Bathroom, closet, all great ideas. Muncie, you guys should be starting to see the winds die down a little bit. Those of you watching from Muncie, let me know what you're seeing there. Let me know if you guys have power still. Let me know what's going on. I'll be very interested to know here what you guys are seeing or have seen. Elsewhere across the state, this is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana at this point in time. We do have some strong storms moving in the southwest lower Indiana. They are sub-severe at this point in time. Same thing for northern Indiana. Pretty strong storm moving into Wabash County, Indiana, outside Logansport, just south of Wabash, but sub-severe at this point in time. There you go. The National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued to match Indianapolis 70-mile-per-hour winds, Considerable tag on it. This does include the city of Portland, Indiana, and points southward. It does not include Bryant, Indiana, but still interior room, away from windows, lowest level of your home here until this storm has passed. This is Jay County and Randolph County, Indiana. Still have power at my house in Muncie, says Chelsea. Great, I love to hear that. That is awesome news. Hopefully the damage was not too extensive there. I hope, but still a very dangerous storm, a very serious storm moving into Randolph County, Indiana, and Jay County, Indiana. Area south, Wayne County, Indiana, you guys are in a special weather statement here. Actually, you guys have been included in that severe thunderstorm warning now, kind of a dual warning there. But again, if you're in Haggardstown, I would plan on 60-mile-per-hour winds here in Wayne County, northern Wayne County, Indiana. The strongest winds are just to your north, into Randolph County, southern Jay County. Going to be exiting Delaware County and northern Henry County, moving into Jay County, Randolph County, and northern Wayne County in east central Indiana. 70-mile-per-hour winds are possible here. Radar indicated. The warning has been allowed to be downgraded from a destructive tag to a considerable tag, but still a dangerous storm nonetheless. Shelter in place, interior room, away from windows, lowest level of your home until this storm has passed. Again, flashlights are great to have with you. It is still dark outside. The sun has not risen yet. So again, interior room, away from windows. Yeah, Amber, that's the wrong mentality. I actually don't like to call them tornado sirens. They are not tornado sirens. They're outdoor warning sirens. Outdoor warning sirens are issued or sounded for those that are caught outside. They're not to be used to wake you up inside. They're used to warn those caught outside who need to seek shelter in an interior room, a sturdy structure. A lot of times they are issued for severe thunderstorm warnings of a considerable or destructive tag. They are not tornado sirens. They are outdoor warning sirens. That's how you need to look at them. So a little bit of outdoor warning siren education there, which is great. When should this pass over? Maddie, what is your location? I can't give you an answer unless I know your location. If you guys are in Anderson, Alexandria, Indiana, points westward, you guys are in the clear for this severe thunderstorm warning. If you guys are in eastern Delaware County, Jay County, Randolph County, and Wayne County, shelter in place until this storm has passed. This is a very dangerous storm, a very serious storm that'll be moving over here. Considerable tag on it, 70-mile-per-hour winds here. Penny-sized hail. The hail is not the main hazard here. It is the winds. Lost power in Muncie, says Faith. Yeah, not surprised to hear that. Pretty strong winds here. Newcastle, Indiana, you guys are in the clear. Again, if you guys are west of Muncie and Newcastle, you guys are in the clear. I can't tell you that for every specific location. You guys just need to know where you are on the map and go from there, okay? Jay County, Indiana, Randolph County, Indiana. These are the areas of interest right now, as well as northern Wayne County. If you are in those counties I just mentioned, shelter in place, interior room. If you guys are not in those counties mentioned, you guys are okay at this point in time. But also keep in mind, if you are in counties that were just impacted, such as Madison County, Henry County, Hancock County, watch out for down power lines, tree damage. It is still dark outside, so do be cognizant of that and do be mindful of that. And be cautious venturing out here this morning. Significant winds now on the outside of Muncie, Indiana, moving into Randolph County, southern Jay County, just to the east of Eaton, Indiana, or just southeast of Eaton, Indiana now. Are the strongest winds here with this severe thunderstorm warning. Just now hitting Albany, Indiana. Yeah, not surprised to hear that. Red Key, Indiana, Bluff Point, Ridgeville, Greene, Portland, Winchester, Modoc. I believe that's how you pronounce that. If it's Modoc, or I'm sorry. Lynn, Indiana, State Road 27 here, US 27 here, State Road 32, and State Road 1 in Randolph County and Jay County. Again, interior room, lowest level of your home, away from windows, treat it as you would a tornado warning. This is a very serious storm and a very dangerous storm here that is racing at 75 miles per hour east-northeast. This is going to impact Randolph County and southern Jay County for the strongest winds. Wayne County, Indiana, you guys are in the severe thunderstorm warning. However, the strongest winds are going to be just to your north in Randolph County, but plan on 60-mile-per-hour winds here for northern Wayne County. But Newcastle, Indiana, Muncie County, Muncie, Indiana, you guys are officially in the all clear, but do be cautious going outside as a significant storm has rolled through. You could have tree damage, power lines down. Never approach a down power line as it could be live unless given permission or the all clear by local authorities such as police departments, fire departments, or the power company itself to know that it has been disconnected. You do not get a second chance if you come across a down power line and it happens to be live. So again, never approach a down power line. Always treat it as if it's live, especially when roadways are wet, areas are wet. That current can actually carry away from that power line. It can arc, it can carry through ground current. Again, very, very dangerous to come across down power lines. It is best to shelter in place still. If you're in the Muncie area, do not venture out because of damage that is being reported across the area. If you are in Winchester, Indiana, Randolph County, Southern Jay County, Indiana, Northern Wayne County, Indiana, interior room, away from windows, basement preferred, but a lot of us don't have basements. That's okay. Lowest level of your home, away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible until this storm has passed. Looking around across the region here, a strong storm approaching Wabash County, but subsevere at this point in time. Could have some gusty winds, maybe 30 miles per hour. Pea to dime size hail within that storm there, approaching Huntington County and Wabash County, but not severe at this point in time. Areas across the region here, we'll take a quick look here. We do have some stronger thunderstorms moving into southwest lower Indiana. Subsevere, perhaps gusty winds, heavy rain, small hail, but no severe weather at this point in time. Blatchford County, it is just to your south. The worst of it will be just to your south. Blatchford County, you have been included in this severe thunderstorm warning. However, the strongest winds are just off to your neighbors in Jay County, Indiana. So again, Hartford City, Montpelier, you guys are okay. Could have some heavy rain, torrential rainfall, as well as quite a bit of lightning occurring right now, but the strongest winds are just to your south and east at this point in time. Strongest winds approaching Muncie, or outside Muncie, Indiana, into Randolph County and Jay County, Indiana, as well as northern Wayne County, Indiana. This warning is in effect for another 36 minutes here, or until 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for East Central Indiana. This storm is moving northeast at 75 miles an hour. Again, that's freeway speed. What we drive on the interstate, 69, I-75. That is how fast this storm is moving. It is racing towards the Ohio line. But a very dangerous storm at that. 70-mile-per-hour winds are anticipated here with this severe thunderstorm. This is for Wayne, Randolph County, Jay County, and extreme southeastern Blatchford County until 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The strongest winds are now in Jay County, Randolph County, and northern Wayne County in east central Indiana. Interior room, lowest level of your home, away from windows. Put as many layers between you and the outside as possible. This includes towns such as Haggardsville, Lynn, Winchester, Union City, Portland, Eaton, Muncie. You guys are in the clear, but again, be cautious venturing outside. There could be down power lines, tree damage, and it is still dark. So again, be very, very cautious if you have to go out on the roads after being impacted by this storm. Wait until given the all clear. Follow your local EMA on Facebook or social media, as well as your local sheriff's department, police department, fire department. They'll be able to provide you updates at a local level as what is going on in your municipality or county. If you guys have any damage, put it in the chat. Let me know. Let me know what you guys have. I love to hear what you guys are seeing, what you guys are experiencing. But again, a very dangerous storm here for Randolph County, Jay County, and northern Wayne County in east central Indiana. 70-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail associated with this thunderstorm here. And we do have a large downstream warning now issued by the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio. This is for Mercer County, Indiana, as well as Darke County, Ohio, not Indiana. They have also issued a severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. And this is for Auglaize County, Darke County, Shelby County, and Mercer County, and west or east central Ohio. So if you know anybody in Ohio, Salina, Ohio, Greenville, Ohio, Wapakoneta, Ohio, have them be prepared for this severe thunderstorm warning. Strongest winds are now in Randolph County, Wayne County, and Jay County, Indiana, moving northeast at 60 to 70 miles an hour. There are no tornado warnings in the state of Indiana. Tornado sirens don't always sound for tornado warnings. They are outdoor warning sirens. They are not tornado sirens. It's a common misconception. Outdoor warning sirens are sounded by your local emergency management or police department when you have severe thunderstorm warnings of a considerable or destructive tag. Every municipality is different when it comes to their criteria of when they sound outdoor warning sirens. But they are not tornado sirens. They are outdoor warning sirens. They are to warn those caught outside who need to seek shelter inside. So just because they are sounding could mean either a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning, but they are not just used for tornadoes. They are used for significant severe thunderstorm warnings as well. And not every municipality will sound them. Some municipalities only sound them for tornado warnings, while other municipalities will sound them for severe thunderstorm warnings as well. It really depends on where you're at and the criteria for when they sound them. But again, strongest winds are now in Randolph County, Jay County, moving towards Auglaize County, Darke County, and Mercer County in Ohio. If you guys are in Muncie, Indiana, Blackford County, Indiana, you guys are in the clear. At this point in time, go ahead and turn on our hail tracker here. We haven't turned it on in a while. The wind has been the biggest story here. Probably getting some P to dime size hail in Wabash County, moving into Huntington County. Huntington, Lancaster, State Road 69 south of US 24 could get in on some P's to perhaps dime size hail, maybe some pennies mixed in there where you have the yellow there. Yeah, definitely some penny size hail moving towards the Huntington, Indiana area. The special weather statement now just issued for Wabash, Huntington, Whitley, and Allen County, Indiana for 32 minutes here. Winds to 50 to 55 miles per hour in nickel size hail, which is 0.88 in diameter. So just under severe criteria there for Wabash, Huntington, Whitley, and Allen County. So again, Fort Wayne, Aboit, Huntington, Roanoke, be prepared for nickel size hail and winds 50 to 55 mile per hour winds there. This does not include Wells County. As you can see, it's trimmed around the county there. This is for Huntington, Wabash, Allen, and Whitley County, and Northeast Indiana. Strongest storms still in effect for Jay County, Randolph County, and Wayne County in east central Indiana. This is where our severe thunderstorm warnings are currently. Switch back to wind velocities. Again, it's a little messy. We're in between radars right now. Kind of have a radar gap. This area is very hard to get a really good idea what the winds are doing at the surface. We're in between radars. Switch to Wilmington here. They may have a better interpretation. You can see the gust front very well in Wayne County and Randolph County. But Jay County is just in a radar gap. It's really hard to see what is going on at the surface there because of that. You can see the gust front here in central Huntington County, east central Wabash County, moving northeast at probably 60 to 70 miles an hour. See if they have a forward motion on this. They do not, but likely moving northeast at 60 to 70 miles an hour here. The storm is subsevere, but it is strong. Huntington County, Indiana, Huntington, Lancaster, Aboit, Roanoke, Fort Wayne, and southeast Whitley County could have 50 to 55 mile per hour winds and nickel size hail, which is 0.88 diameter, which is just under severe criteria of 1 inch. So again, getting close on that, but subsevere at this point in time, but something to keep an eye on throughout the state of Indiana. Strongest winds still for Jay, Randolph, and northern Wayne counties as these storms exit Indiana into east central Ohio, Mercer County, Ohio, Darke County, Ohio, as well as a little bit of Auglaize County, Ohio, approaching the Wapakoneta area. 60 mile per hour winds is what Wilmington issued for. So the storm is perhaps weakening a little bit as it exits Indiana and enters east central Ohio. Yeah, Sandra says, information you were giving on sirens is great because I've always thought they were for tornadoes. Yeah. A lot of people call them tornado sirens. And again, it's really up to your municipality. They all have different protocols on when they sound them. Some only sound them for tornado warnings, and some sound them for both severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. It really depends on where you're at. I like to refer to them as outdoor warning sirens because they are used for both, depending on where you live. So that's how I look at them. That's how I was trained, and how I learned about them as well in school. So I learned them as outdoor warning sirens. They are to warn those who are outside who need to seek shelter inside, and used to warn those of an approaching severe thunderstorm or tornado. Would the National Weather Service in northern Indiana have more information on these? What are you referring to? You're referring to the storms themselves or information? Let me know a little bit more on that question, Philip. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Strong winds, southern Jay County right now. Yeah, not surprised. Portland, Indiana, south of Bryant, Indiana. Bryant's right here. Portland's right here. Getting into some strong winds here, as well as Winchester, Indiana, Lynn, Indiana, coming into the Union City area, into Dark and Mercer County, Ohio, on deck for 60 to 70 mile per hour winds and penny-size hail. Again, small hail. Hail isn't really the main risk here with this storm. Actually, we have larger hailstones in Huntington County than we do down here where our severe thunderstorm warning is. But again, both storms, hailstones are below severe criteria, which is good. We don't need any large hail, but the wind is extremely dangerous here across Jay, Winchester, Indiana, Randolph County, and northern Wayne County. The storms themselves, yeah, right now we're in what's called a radar gap, where the radars are pretty far away. So the radar beams are about 8,000 feet off the ground in Jay County, Indiana. And so having that radar gap, we're not really going to get a crystal clear image no matter which radar site we use, just because we're far away. I'm switching back and forth between Indianapolis, Wilmington, and northern Indiana to see which one shows it best. As you can see, my velocities just went wonky. This is kind of a radar Omega issue here. I don't really know what's been going on with radar Omega recently, but it's been showing some pretty wonky, yes, that's a meteorological term, wonky, reflectivity every once in a while. But a lot of that is because we're just far away from the radar at this point in time. So what we're seeing on velocity is elevated. We're a few thousand feet off the ground in Jay, Winchester, Indiana, in Randolph County, Mercer, and Dark County, Ohio. Just kind of a radar gap right there. Muncie is fine. Yes, you are in the clear. Could have some residual rain, maybe some rumbles of thunder, but do be cautious if you're out on the road. There could be some downed power lines and trees from the storm that passed over earlier, but you guys are in the clear at this point in time, which is good news. But again, be mindful of that if you do have to go out on the roads. Watch out for tree debris and perhaps some downed power lines as well. So do be mindful of that if you are out on the roads. Severe thunderstorm warning. So in effect here, our strongest winds are approaching the Indiana-Ohio line, which is good news. It's going to move off to our neighbors in Ohio. If you have anybody in Ohio, we cover Indiana. If you know anybody in Ohio, there is a page you guys can follow that I do highly recommend. It is Ohio News and Weather. It's ran by a very good individual. Feel free to give them a like and a follow. They'll keep you on top of it just as we do, but for Ohio News and Weather. Give them a like, and they will keep you covered for Ohio. But again, these storms are exiting Indiana here for our severe thunderstorm warning. 60 mile per hour winds is a going hazard here as they exit Indiana into east central Ohio. Mercer County, Ohio, Dark County, Ohio, and western Auglaize County, Ohio. Does not include Wapakoneta at this point in time, but it is getting close. So if you guys are in the Wapak area, Sidney, Piqua, I-75 corridor here in east central Ohio, be in your safe place. Be ready for this severe thunderstorm warning. Areas to the north here, special weather statement. Special weather statements will not go off on your emergency radio. They are not severe thunderstorm warnings. Special weather statements are used for strong thunderstorms that are just below severe criteria. They're strong but not severe, but they could intensify. So that is why the National Weather Service issues special weather statements. Still putting the wording out that we have a strong thunderstorm. It could intensify. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But it is still strong. Strong thunderstorms, as we know, even though they're not severe, they can still cause damage. So that is why special weather statements, or SPSs, as they're called, are issued by the National Weather Service. This is for Huntington County, Whitley County, and Allen County. Wabash County, you are included, but the strongest storm has passed to your east. Huntington County, probably getting some gusty winds, nickel-sized hail right now. Pretty decent hail core here. Let's go ahead and turn on our hail tracker. This is what we call a vertical integrated liquid, VIL. This allows us to track our updraft, lagging behind a little bit. This orange here is likely over Huntington at this point in time, just south of US 24. So again, downtown and east along the railroad track towards Bowerstown here, probably getting some nickel-size hail, which is 0.88 diameter. For severe criteria, we need it to be 1 inch. So we are just a couple tenths away from severe thunderstorm warning. So this is a strong thunderstorm, not severe, but it's something we're going to have to watch very closely. This is moving off to the northeast towards the Aboit area, Roanoke, Allen County, southeast Whitley County on that storm there. No severe thunderstorm warnings anywhere else in the state of Indiana besides Jay County and Randolph County. Wayne County has been trimmed out of the warning. Wayne County, you are no longer in a severe thunderstorm warning. There's a special weather statement still in effect for you guys. Could have some remnants of some strong gusty winds here as these storms exit Indiana and into east central Ohio. There's my radar. Not sure what happened there. It kind of disappeared for me there for a second. Go ahead and turn our velocity back up. Yeah, not really getting the best data there. There's a gust front here. Strongest gust front has now entered Darke County, Ohio, and east central Ohio towards the Greenville area, Union City, points north, North Star. We got Fort Recovery in here as well, Saline, Ohio, and Mercer County. Still could have some gusty winds, perhaps even in southern Adams County as well. Maybe some gusty winds here. Sub-severe at this point in time. Adams County, you are not included in that severe thunderstorm warning, but perhaps 50 to 60 here in the severe southeast portion of Adams County. Think like J City, Chattanooga, Ohio, that sliver here. And Adams County could have some gusty winds. But the strongest winds are now exiting Indiana and into east central Ohio. Maryland asks, got any more storms coming soon? Yeah, actually. We're going to have a risk for showers and thunderstorms through Sunday, through tomorrow, and also into Monday morning. After we get through Monday morning, we dry out and we become mostly sunny for Monday afternoon. But the good news is we stay pretty mild this week. We're going to stay pretty warm. Temperatures will be in the 70s and perhaps another chance at 80 degrees later in the upcoming week. So a pretty decent week, a pretty warm week as well, a very spring-like week. So with the rain coming, if you guys are mushroom hunters looking for morels, this is great mushroom weather. Be a great week to hunt for those across the state of Indiana. But in terms of severe weather, for the rest of the day today, we could have some strong storms. Widespread severe weather is not expected, but we could have, I assume you mean Paulding County, Ohio, Melinda. The worst of the storms steer south. Not seeing any severe weather imminent for Paulding County, Ohio. We do have a strong thunderstorm outside Fort Wayne, Indiana, in Huntington County, moving in the southwest Whitley and Allen County, but severe weather for Paulding County, nothing imminent at this point in time. But in terms of the weather for the rest of the day here, scattered showers and thunderstorms. This will be the trend here. Our cold front that has sparked a lot of the showers and thunderstorms across the state is going to stall out. Our cold front is going to transform into what is known as stationary front. Stationary meaning it's just going to hang out and chill across central Indiana, northwest Ohio. It's not going to go anywhere. There's nothing to really boot it out of the way. So as it stays here, it's going to bring renewed chances for showers and thunderstorms across central Indiana, northwest Ohio, and that could bring chances for heavy rain as well. Some areas across central Indiana could see 2 to 3 inches of rain by Sunday night and into Monday morning before we clear out and become mostly Sunday by Monday afternoon. So that is a look at what is to come. We will be monitoring radar throughout the day today in case any of these storms do get an attitude here this afternoon. But I do think the greatest chance for a stronger thunderstorm will be earlier this morning. Will be during the AM hours Saturday or this morning here. Could still have a strong thunderstorm later this afternoon, but I think the greatest chances will be during the AM hours today. Amy says Winchester still has power. That is great news. Great news to hear. Always love to hear when people still have power after a severe thunderstorm has moved through. Always good news to hear. The strongest winds. Jay County is still left in a severe thunderstorm. Randolph County, you guys are in the all clear. Just have some lingering rain, perhaps a few lightning strikes, but you guys are officially in the all clear. Go back to bed for a couple hours, sleep in, enjoy your holiday weekend, and happy Easter to everyone. I hope you guys have a blessed holiday this weekend. Special weather statement still hanging around for another 4 minutes for Wayne County. However, you guys are in the all clear. You guys can enjoy the rest of your morning. Go back to bed, sleep in. Have a good rest of your morning here. Jay County, Indiana, still in a severe thunderstorm warning for 18 minutes here. They'll likely trim this back here. But again, the strongest winds are off to your east in Mercer County, Ohio, and perhaps extreme southeast Adams County as well, maybe getting into some gusty winds. But again, Portland, Indiana, you guys are in the clear. West of US 27 here, you guys are in the clear. Just some lingering moderate to heavy rainfall, and perhaps a few rumbles of thunder. Columbus, Indiana, southern Indiana, you guys are in the clear. No severe weather is imminent for you guys anywhere else in the state at this point in time. We're going to have to watch this storm for Huntington County, southwest lower Allen County, and Whitley County. But again, thunderstorms will persist throughout the day today. We're going to have a risk for scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the entire day today through tomorrow and tomorrow night, really, until we clear out on Monday. This cold front that is moving through that has sparked our showers and thunderstorms across Indiana is stalling out. It's slowing down across central Indiana. In fact, it's just going to set up shop across central Indiana through tomorrow before we have a weather system that's going to be able to move this cold front out of the way. But as it stalls out, it's going to become what is known as a stationary front. Stationary meaning it's not going anywhere. It's stationary. It's just going to hang out and be our friend for the next couple of days, if you want to call it that. Friend, right? But unfortunately for our Easter weekend, it is going to bring some renewed rainfall. Could have some ponding, localized flooding, and river swelling as well, where we have these training showers and thunderstorms across central Indiana. Some areas may see 2 to 3 inches of rain by Monday morning before everything is all said and done. We clear out. Sunshine is expected for Monday afternoon. We will clear out, I promise, but we have to get through the next 48 hours in order to do that. For the remainder of the day, a few showers and thunderstorms expected today through the afternoon hours. A few of those could be strong. Widespread severe weather is not expected. We have a marginal risk in place today for central and southern Indiana. That is a 1 out of 5. So we could still have a few strong thunderstorms today, but widespread severe weather is not expected. The best chance for severe weather was this morning before noon today is the best chances for seeing those stronger storms. They should kind of behave themselves a little bit more as we go into the afternoon hours, but we'll be watching radar here throughout the afternoon in case any of these thunderstorms do get an attitude later today. We'll be monitoring that behind the scenes, and we will go live later today if a severe thunderstorm warning is issued once again. But we'll stay on here near term here until the severe weather threat has ended here remotely here. We are watching a strong thunderstorm across northern Indiana, northern Huntington County, extreme southeast Whitley County, and southwest Allen County. Coming near the GM plant. If you're in southwest lower Adams or Allen County, you know where that is. 469, 69 interchange there. Coming up to Jefferson here, the Jefferson exit here. You got Lutheran Hospital here, US 24, a lot of restaurants right in here. That's where this storm is heading. Could have some nickel-size hail, gusty winds of 50 to 55 miles an hour, but again, sub-severe, not severe at this point in time, moving into Fort Wayne, Indiana. But it's a storm we're going to have to watch. It's strong. Not severe, but strong. Strong thunderstorms can still cause some minor damage. They can blow your trash cans around. So if you guys have trash cans out, make sure they are in a secure location if they're not loaded down or if they're empty. 50-mile-per-hour winds can blow your trash can into your neighbor's yard. Again, neighbor Fred doesn't want to pick up your trash to your trash can, so again, make sure that's tied down and in a safe location. Portland, Indiana, still in a severe thunderstorm warning, but again, you guys are in the clear. I would expect this to be allowed to expire or be canceled here in the next few minutes. The severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for Randolph County, Wayne County, has been allowed to expire, which is great news here. But we do still have that in place for Jay County, Indiana. If you are in Jay County, Indiana, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the all clear. You guys are all clear. The severe thunderstorm, which prompted the warning, has moved into Mercer County, Ohio, Darke County, Ohio, moving into southern Van Wert County, and perhaps Auglaize County, Ohio as well. So again, if you know anybody in East Central Ohio, take shelter and heed this warning until the event has passed. But our primary focus is in Indiana, so that's where we're going to spend our time here today. Yeah, crazy wind in Fortville, Indiana a little bit ago. Thanks for that report, Roman. Much appreciated there. New special weather statement has been extended here. This does include DeKalb County, Indiana. Northwestern Wells County, Indiana. However, if you're in northwestern Wells County, Indiana, I don't expect too much for you guys here. It's mainly going to be Allen County, Indiana, is what this storm is moving into. It's exiting Huntington County, Indiana, exiting the Roanoke, Indiana, entering the Aboit, Indiana area, coming up near the Jefferson exit here on I-69. Got Lutheran Hospital here for reference. Jefferson Point a little bit further downstream, US 24 here. You got the Outback here and a couple other restaurants here as well for reference. You got Fox Island here, recreational area here as well. This is where the storm is heading. It's going to head up right up Jefferson Boulevard here, towards the I-69 area, towards downtown Fort Wayne. This special weather statement for another 28 minutes here. 50-mile-per-hour winds, half-inch hail. So the hail size has gone down a little bit, which is good news. We were at Nichols, 0.88 earlier. The hail size has weakened to half-inch size hail. But still, half-inch size hail can cause some minor damage. So if you have any cars, if you have a garage, might not hurt to put them in your garage, just until this storm has passed in case the hail size increases. Storm alert says I'm going to wait for a couple hours to go outside to see if I have any damage in the Noblesville. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Wait till daylight. Daylight is always the best option to wait to look for storm damage, just in case you have any power lines down or other hazards that you have. We are starting to get into daylight here. We're kind of getting into that morning twilight a little bit. The sun will be coming up here within the hour. So some good news. Daylight's on the way, but again, still be cautious if you guys are out where the storm has passed. We could have some damage or some hazards here. And we are officially severe thunderstorm warning free in the state of Indiana. No severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect anywhere in the state of Indiana at this point in time. We do have two special weather statements here. We're going to stay on here and watch this storm here moving into the Fort Wayne, Indiana area. It is strong, sub-severe, but we're going to have to keep an eye on it for any re-intensification. Yeah, not surprised to hear that warning sirens were sounding during that time. A lot of municipalities will issue those for considerable severe thunderstorm warnings or destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. Outdoor warning sirens are not always sounded for tornado warnings. They are also sounded for severe thunderstorm warnings, but it also depends on the municipality or town of which you live in. Every EMA has different criteria and when they sound them. Some sound them only for tornado warnings, while others sound them for severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So kind of depends on where you live, but I like to refer to them as outdoor warning sirens. They are to warn those who are outdoors who need to seek shelter indoors and be warned of an approaching severe thunderstorm. That is their design purpose for outdoor warning sirens. And that's not just for Indiana, that goes anywhere in the country. That is their design purpose, to warn those who are outdoors of an approaching storm. They need to seek shelter indoors. Again, strong storm moving into Allen County, Indiana. Moving towards the Fort Wayne, moving right along I-69 here. Coming up near the, we got Jefferson Boulevard here right now where the core is. Lutheran Hospital coming into the Jefferson Point area on the west side of Fort Wayne. Getting ready to cross fully into southwest Allen County. Yeah, anytime a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, it'll activate that emergency alert system on your phone, radio, and NOAA weather radio. Special weather statements that we have here now do not activate the emergency alert system as they are not severe, but they are strong. So the National Weather Service will use special weather statements to put the word out saying, hey, we have a strong thunderstorm here. Could intensify, but it is strong, so it's worth keeping an eye on and still taking shelter inside a sturdy structure until the storm has passed. So that's kind of the difference between a special weather statement and a severe thunderstorm warning. Special weather statements are used for thunderstorms that are strong. They're producing hazards. They're just not meeting the criteria for a severe thunderstorm, which to have a severe thunderstorm, you need criteria, which is quarter-size hail, 1-inch diameter, 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater. A lot of times you'll see a 60-mile-per-hour tag on the severe thunderstorm warning. Very seldomly do you see 58. A lot of times they'll just put a 60-mile-per-hour tag on that. Or a tornado. All three of those things make a storm severe. Anything less than that, a lot of times we'll see a special weather statement, generally used for dime-size hail or greater. Sometimes for pea-size hail, if heavy enough, but a lot of times dime-size hail or greater. Between dime-size hail and quarter is where you see that special weather statement, or winds 35 to 55 mile per hour. Once you get to 58 mile per hour or close, a lot of times they'll issue a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's a little bit of a behind the scenes look of what the National Weather Service does when it comes to severe thunderstorm issuance. Radar operators at the National Weather Service are very good. They're very good at what they do, no matter the office, and they are working very hard and short-staffed at the moment too. My heart goes out to them for that. They're working very short-staffed right now, so they're doing a terrific job for the situation that they are in. And they're very dedicated individuals, dedicated to keeping you safe during severe weather. So, very talented men and women who work at those offices and are very good at what they do. So again, strong thunderstorm here for Allen County, Indiana. Subsevere, we have half-inch size hail, which is 0.50. That has been downgraded from nickel size hail, or 0.88. So we are a half-inch away from severe criteria for hail, which is good news. Small hail, but again, could still cause a few minor dents, but no significant damage is expected. But again, do be cautious if you're out on the roads in Fort Wayne Metro here this morning. Torrential rainfall is also occurring. Urban ponding is probably another hazard here that has not been mentioned yet for Fort Wayne. Anytime you get torrential rainfall in an urban setting, a lot of times it takes a few minutes for those street drains to catch back up when you're getting rainfall rates of 1 inch an hour. That's a lot of water that is falling on a lot of pavement. Your percolation rates are very low in urban settings because you have a lot of concrete, you have a lot of asphalt. It takes a while for that water to be shed off the roadways and sidewalks into your storm sewers and drains, and then into local rivers. In this case, the Mary, Joseph, and Maumee in Allen County. I was surprised they didn't issue a severe thunderstorm watch. We were in a mesoscale discussion by the Storm Prediction Center, which, for those of you that don't know, that's essentially a highlighted area that the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma is an area that they're monitoring. But because the severe weather threat was more isolated in nature, it was really one storm that produced this warning. Though intense, it wasn't very widespread. A lot of times severe thunderstorm watches are issued by the Storm Prediction Center where we have a widespread severe weather event. This was more isolated in nature, so that's why local National Weather Service offices and the Storm Prediction Center opted to not issue a severe thunderstorm watches. This was just kind of a one-storm event. Usually watches are reserved for more widespread events. Though this thunderstorm was very intense, it even had a destructive warning, which was the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning that we can have issued by the National Weather Service. But the best reason I can give you for why they opted not to issue that severe thunderstorm watch was because it wasn't a widespread event. We didn't have multiple warnings at the same time. It was one storm. It was an isolated event. So for that reason, they opted not to issue a severe thunderstorm watch, and that would be my best guess on why they opted not to do that. Back to our storm here in Allen County. This is the strongest storm in Indiana at this point in time. Though it is not severe, we could have some half-inch size hail in winds to 50 miles per hour. 50 mile per hour winds, though not severe, are strong in nature. They can blow loose objects around, patio furniture, trash cans, loose sticks around. They can blow some dead branches down. So do be mindful of that and thoughtful about that if you live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Have your trash can in a secure location as well. 50 mile per hour winds can effectively blow your trash can up the street and into your neighbor's yard. Neighbor Fred doesn't want to pick up your trash or your trash can, so make sure that's in a secure location. Torrential rainfall is also occurring in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in Allen County. Watch out for urban ponding or flooding until those street drains are able to keep up and shed that water. Anytime you get heavy rainfall rates of 1 inch an hour or greater in an urban setting, you pose the risk for urban ponding. Some temporary hydrologic issues in Allen County until those street drains are able to keep up. But right now we have some very heavy rainfall moving through downtown Fort Wayne. The Summit City could have some heavy rainfall with ponding issues as well. No severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. We are clear of severe thunderstorm warnings at this point in time. Special weather statements in blue are issued for storms that are strong but below severe criteria. They are issued by the National Weather Service typically when we have dime-size hail to nickel-size hail. Anything larger than 1 inch or quarter will get a severe thunderstorm warning. For winds, a lot of times they're issued for 35 and greater, between 35 and 55 miles an hour. Once we get to that 58 criteria, they may pull the trigger on a severe thunderstorm warning. But anything less than that, special weather statements, they are reserved for strong storms, but not severe. Special weather statements do not activate your emergency alert system, so you don't get an alert on your phone for these. And a lot of people don't even know they're issued because of that. But if it intensifies into a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning, then you'll get that alert on your phone, radio, and NOAA weather alert radio as well, alerting you that the storm has been upgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning or a warning of any kind. We'll activate that EAS system, that emergency alert system. Further south, has some heavy showers and thunderstorms, could have some pea-sized hail, perhaps maybe some gusty winds to 30 miles an hour. But these storms from Terre Haute, Bloomington, down to Vincennes are not severe at this point in time. There's just general thunderstorms, moderate to heavy rain, lightning, and perhaps maybe some pea-sized hail in some of these storms here. But the thunderstorm warnings have been allowed to be canceled in east central Ohio too. So that's a sign that these storms are weakening as they move into Ohio. Terrific news. They got really intense there between Indianapolis, Newcastle, Indiana, where we had a destructive tag. We went from considerable 70 to destructive 80 miles per hour. Again, a destructive tag is the most intense label we can have on a severe thunderstorm warning. Baseline is 60 and quarter-size hail, and then we jump to a considerable tag at 70 mile per hour winds, or larger hailstones of $1.25 or larger, which is ping pong ball size hail. And once we get to larger hail than that, or 80 mile per hour winds, you'll see a destructive tag, which is a level 3 out of 3 on our severe thunderstorm warnings. So warnings have different criteria to them as well. A lot of people don't know that, but they do. So that's something the National Weather Service does to communicate the severity of the severe thunderstorm in question. In this case, our severe thunderstorms are behaving. We have one that's giving a little bit of an attitude here in Allen County. It is strong, sub-severe at this point in time, but could have some winds to 50 mile per hour. Perhaps a little bit less now. Our velocities have tamed a little bit, which is good news. Mainly heavy rain right now, small hail, pea to dime size hail in this thunderstorm here. It is warned, or not warned, but it has a statement on it for half-inch size hail for hailstones potentially up to 0.5 in diameter. Severe criteria is 1-inch diameter or quarter size. Anderson, Madison County, you guys are in the clear right now. Could have additional showers and thunderstorms throughout the morning here, but severe weather is quite low at this point in time. Your risk is over. We could have a stronger storm, maybe perhaps mid-morning later this afternoon, but widespread severe weather is not expected today in Indiana. A stray severe thunderstorm warning can't be ruled out, but widespread severe is not expected. We don't really have the ingredients or dynamics in place for a widespread severe weather event, but a few of these storms could be strong with gusty winds and small hail today. Cannot be ruled out. And after the special weather statements are taken off here and the storms are behaving themselves, we'll probably hop off here, but we'll continue to watch radar behind the scenes in case any of these storms do get an attitude, as I like to say. Today we'll hop back on and we'll cover that from beginning to end. Same thing, Columbia City. Anywhere in the state of Indiana, chances of showers and thunderstorms today. A few of those could be strong. Best chances of a stronger storm, central and southern Indiana. Northern Indiana, a few showers, maybe some thunderstorms early. But those of you on the north side of the stationary front, northwest Indiana, north and west of 24, your temperatures are actually going to start to drop here into the low 50s here by mid-morning into this afternoon on the back side of the front. Those of you on the south side of the stationary front, we'll be in the 60s and perhaps low 70s today, but those of you on the north side, northwest Indiana, we'll be cooling down into the low 50s here by mid-morning, late afternoon, northwest Indiana in particular. But no severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. All severe thunderstorm warnings have been allowed to be canceled or expired. We do have some heavy rain moving into Indiana. Some thunderstorms here across southern Indiana. We'll go ahead and turn our hail tracker back on just to take a look at them here. Again, I don't really see much hail, maybe some peas in there, but nothing greater than that. After our special weather statements expire here for Allen County, we'll go ahead and hop off here. So we probably have a few minutes left here in the stream, maybe 10 to 20 minutes here max, before we hop off here. And after we do hop off, we'll continue to monitor the situation behind the scenes. We'll watch radar throughout the day today. If any thunderstorms do happen to get an attitude once again to meet the severe warning criteria, which is quarter-size hail, 58 mile per hour winds or greater, we'll hop back on and we'll cover that for you in detail in its entirety. So again, thank you for those of you that have stuck with us, for trusting us. Although the severe weather risk was lower tonight, thankfully, it was non-zero, and we saw that here this morning. We had a severe thunderstorm warning that crossed the entire state of Indiana, all of central Indiana, from Terre Haute all the way to Winchester, Indiana. We had a severe thunderstorm producing winds of 60 to 80 miles an hour, so it became quite significant at times. So we had just enough ingredients in place to support severe weather, though not widespread. We did have that severe thunderstorm warning for hail and destructive winds of 80 miles per hour. So if you guys have any damage, be sure to report that to your local National Weather Service office. You can do that by sending them an email. Go to the National Weather Service's website, nws.noaa.gov. Find your local office, whether it's Indianapolis, Wilmington, Northern Indiana, Evansville, Indiana, or Paducah, Kentucky. Go ahead and shoot them an email of what damage you have. They like to use the TEL method, time, event, location. If you don't know the exact time, that's okay. Just give a rough estimate. They can go back on radar and they can compare your damage to the radar image at the time, and they can estimate a wind speed or hail size at that point in time as well. It's pretty cool how they do that, but they love to know your damage reports. So tag them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and let them know what you saw. But use the TEL method, time, event, location. The time it happened, estimate, get as close as you can. Event, what happened? Was it hail? Was it wind damage? What happened? They like to know that. And then the location, nearest intersection, zip code, or address is great. That way they can pinpoint that and log that information into severe weather reports. So a little behind the scenes on how they like that done. No severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. We are down to one special weather statement. Special weather statements are used by the National Weather Service for strong thunderstorms. Thunderstorms that are strong, but not severe. That is what we have here for Allen County in southern DeKalb County, Indiana. Is in effect for another 12 minutes. 50-mile-per-hour winds, half-inch hail, and does include Paulding County, Ohio as well. Areas to the northwest of Payne, coming near the Antwerp area, US 24, could have some gusty winds and small hail. But this is not a severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, my pleasure, Stormlord. I try to be as verbal as I can in communication for that reason. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, and not everybody has access to radar, so being able to give the play-by-play is what we do here at IWO and Indiana Storm Chasing Network. So we like to give the play-by-play in detail to give you as much warning and lead time as possible and information as to what is going on. That way you guys can prepare, get to shelter, and be ready for what lies ahead. But we'll also be here to give you guys the all clear as well for when it's time to come back out with caution. Which if you guys are in Huntington, Southwest Lower Allen, you guys are in the clear from that special weather statement. All severe thunderstorm warnings have been allowed to expire as well. John asks, will there be bad later today, or was this the worst of it? This was likely the worst of it. We can't rule out a stronger storm later today. Best chances are before noon today. Once we get after lunchtime, some scattered showers and thunderstorms are still possible, but the risk of widespread severe weather today is on the lower side, John, which is good. We don't need any more widespread severe weather. I think we've had our fair share of severe weather in Indiana over the last few weeks, and we've just been crazy active over the last few weeks, abnormally so. So that's good. I think everyone will agree we don't need severe weather to worry about during Easter. But there is that risk. It's non-zero today. A few storms could be strong with small hail, perhaps some gusty winds, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. We do have a marginal risk in place today by the Storm Prediction Center for central and southern Indiana. From Indianapolis, Muncie, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, Terre Haute, Indiana, and points southward have the best risk for a stronger storm later today and this afternoon. But the overall risk is low. It's on the lower side today, which is good. But a few of these storms could be strong. And after we hop off here, after the special weather statement expires, we'll continue to monitor radar behind the scenes. That way, if a storm does get an attitude to the point where the National Weather Service warns it, we'll be on here live covering it in detail from beginning to end to keep you guys ahead of the storm. That is our priority here at IWO in Indiana Storm Chasing Network, to have you covered from beginning to end. From the point we tell you to take shelter to the point we tell you it's all clear and you guys can come out with caution. So I hope that answers your question there. That's a great question, Mary, but that's a question unfortunately I can't answer. We're still too far away to know that for sure. I will tell you next week looks to stay pretty warm, pretty mild. We could have a few chances of showers and thunderstorms in the middle of next week. But right now, severe weather, uncertain. We don't know that right now. It is still too early to know that information. We do have a measure scale discussion for southern Indiana, southwest Indiana. So the Storm Prediction Center are watching these storms right in here between southern Illinois into southwest lower Indiana. They are subsevere at this point in time, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, the Missouri-Illinois line, that we're going to have to watch here moving into Indiana. So we'll probably stay live here a little bit longer just to keep an eye on these storms. We don't want to hop off too early to then have these storms go severe. So we will keep an eye on these storms. But again, southern Indiana has the best chance at being severe this morning. But currently, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana, which is great news. But we are going to have to keep an eye on these storms across southern Illinois and Missouri coming into southern Illinois. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail for the Illinois-Missouri line. You can kind of see how it looks like a bow echo there, that apex there. Really, really good sign of some strong winds there on the backside of that, and perhaps some hail as well, where you see the purples and even some blacks in here. Perryville, Missouri, Jackson, Missouri, coming into the Carbondale, Illinois area. Still a ways off from Indiana. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see how it trends. It does have to travel across southern Illinois before it gets to southern Indiana. But something to keep an eye on. If we don't have any more severe weather, heavy to moderate rainfall is a risk today. We could have a risk for excessive rainfall, ponding, excessive runoff, and some river swelling as well could be renewed. A lot of our soils are still wet. Our water tables are high, so it really is not going to take that much more rain to fill our ditches back up and our streams and rivers. Widespread river flooding is not expected to the extent like we just saw. That was really impressive, but in some areas, isolated, could see 2 to 3 inches of rain, and that could be enough to promote some minor river flooding and some swelling as well in area streams, creeks, and ditches. But one special weather statement is still in effect. Northwest Indiana here. This storm is moving into Paulding County, Ohio, and Defiance County, Ohio. So this storm is exiting the state of Indiana. So we're about to go into all clear mode here pretty soon, where nothing is in effect in the state of Indiana. When that happens, we're probably going to hop off here for a little bit and monitor things behind the scenes. But if we do have another severe thunderstorm warning issued in Indiana, we will hop back in and go live to cover that in its entirety from beginning to end. So we are going to watch these storms here across southern Illinois, southern Indiana, after we hop off and monitor that behind the scenes. And we will hop back on. We'll go live again to cover that in detail if a severe thunderstorm warning is issued. Checking our hail tracker here. Not too impressive. A lot of these storms are pretty weak in nature. Maybe a stronger one here, southern Illinois, perhaps near the Effingham area, and southern Illinois near the Onley area, Newton areas. Maybe some pea-size hail, maybe some dimes there just north of US 50 in Illinois. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these. Hail and gusty winds, main risks here today. Widespread severe weather is not expected, but we could have an isolated strong to locally severe storm, especially this morning before about 2 p.m. Be a safe bet. But as soon as this special weather statement is expired here in northern Indiana, that'll conclude our coverage for now, and we'll continue to monitor the storms here behind the scenes. And if we do see anything go severe or have an attitude, as I like to say, we will hop back on and go live and cover that in detail from beginning to end, as we did this morning. And if we don't see it for the rest of the morning, great. Hopefully, we don't have to come back on and go live here again. Hopefully, these storms behave themselves. And if we don't, I hope you guys have a blessed Easter, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. A lot of you guys had an extended weekend too, a 3-day weekend for a lot of you. So we hope you enjoy that. The storm here that prompted this special weather statement. The special weather statement does expire in 3 minutes. The storm is moving into Defiance County and Paulding County, Ohio. And then we will be in all clear mode. Maybe some heavy rain, or not maybe, there is heavy rain in some of these thunderstorms, and perhaps maybe some small hail, pea-sized hail, and maybe some dimes here in this storm here, but sub-severe at this point in time. But we will be keeping a close eye on these storms here. So here in 2 minutes, we will be in all clear mode across the state of Indiana for now. We'll just have to keep an eye on these storms in southern Illinois moving into Indiana. Strongest storm right now in the region is actually this one here, coming into southern Illinois. Gonna have to keep a close eye on that one. Let me see how fast it's moving here. That'll tell me if I'm gonna stay on here or if I'm gonna hop off. Moving at 60 miles an hour. We'll probably stay on here a little bit longer, just to keep an eye on that storm here as it approaches Perry County, Indiana. Or not Perry, Posey County, Indiana, over the next 30 minutes or so to an hour. Keep an eye on that here to see how it trends. Pretty decent hail signature showing up here too, despite damaging winds. Yeah, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. You can really see the hail core there. We see those brighter colors, and especially your grays there too, right? Where you see the blacks and deep purples getting ready to cross into Illinois. Elsewhere across the state, some small hail moving into Defiance County, north of Paulding County, Ohio, in the northwest Ohio, northwest Ohio. Getting in some small hail associated with that thunderstorm there. But we are currently in all clear. The special weather statement was allowed to expire in Indiana, and we have no warnings or statements in effect here in Indiana, which is terrific news. We are officially all clear, but we are watching a few stronger storms here in southern Indiana. One outside the Bloomington, Indiana area. Near Owen County, maybe getting some small hail here. So if you're in Owen County, could get perhaps some small hail, peas, maybe some dimes in there as well. But we're in all clear mode at this point in time, keeping our eye on these storms here across southern Illinois. So some heavier thunderstorms right now, but we are currently in all clear across the state of Indiana. We have no special weather statements, no severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. Hopefully that continues. We're staying on here a little bit longer just to monitor some storms in southern Illinois right now as they enter Indiana. Some of these are showing signs of being strong, but they are currently sub-severe at this point in time. Hopefully it stays that way. But we're going to be on here keeping an eye on them here for the next few minutes to see how they trend. The last thing I want to do is hop off prematurely just to come back on a few minutes later because we have a warning. So because of that reason, we're going to stay on here and keep an eye on these storms here a little bit. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. Let me know if you have any damage from storms earlier this morning as well. Love hanging out with you guys. Love talking to you guys. So if you guys have any questions, weather related or anything like that, drop them in chat. I'll try to answer them for you while we have this free moment. So breathe, relax, enjoy the morning. We are all clear at this point in time. We have no special weather statements and no severe thunderstorm warnings. So excellent news for Indiana. Hopefully it stays that way. But we'll continue to monitor trends here all morning and throughout the day. But again, Owen County, Indiana, probably getting in some small hail just to the northwest of Bloomington, Indiana. Wouldn't be surprised to see some small hail in there. Moving into Morgan County and perhaps Monroe County as well, getting in on some small hail. More than likely, moving into Morgan County here, could get in on some small hail, maybe pea size. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Illinois. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail for the Carbondale area, Perryville, Chester, Jackson, just outside of Jonesboro, Illinois. This will be moving towards Posey County, Indiana, here within probably the next half an hour, 40 minutes or so. Yeah, Melissa, great question. That is called the TEL method, T-E-L, and that stands for time, event, location. The National Weather Service, whenever you report to them or have a storm report for them, they want to know a rough estimate or exact of what time it occurred, where it occurred, and what occurred. So the time, that can be an estimate. You know, let's say you live at this location and you woke up to storm damage and you say, well, it occurred overnight. It looks fresh. I can't give you an exact location or exact time, but this is what happened. Let's say you have some limbs down. Try to give a rough estimate on the size. If you can measure them, great. They love to know the diameter. The diameter of limbs that are down helps estimate wind speeds as well, and they can match that with radar. So again, having your time, event, location is, or the TEL method, T-E-L. That is the way to do it. The best of your ability. Nearest intersection, address for location, and the event. What occurred? Was it hail damage? Was it flooding? Is it lightning damage? You know, whatever the damage is, explain that to them. Explain what it is, where it's at, and when it occurred to the nearest time, if you're able to the best of your ability. And they'll be able to go back and match that with radar and kind of estimate what happened there. Whether it's a flood, hail, tornado, straight line winds, just tell it as it is. You know, I have 2-inch diameter limbs down, healthy limbs. Be specific too. If it's dead limbs, tell them it's dead. If it's healthy limbs, tell them it's healthy. It takes more wind to damage healthy trees, green trees, than it does dead trees. Dead trees are stiff, they're fragile, they break. Live trees are down. Now we're talking maybe the winds are a little bit stronger. So be specific, be detailed when you give that information to them. Don't be vague. But have that time, event, location in there. And if you don't know how to report it to the National Weather Service, go to the website, National Weather Service. Yeah, you can type that in your search bar and it'll come up. Go to your local office, type in National Weather Service Indianapolis, Indiana, Paducah, Kentucky, Northern Indiana, Wilmington, no matter where you're at in the state. If you're in Northern Indiana, it'd be Northern Indiana. That's the forecasting office. If you're in Southeast Indiana, it'd be the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio. If you're in Southwest Indiana, it'd be Paducah, Kentucky. If you're in Central Indiana, the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. Type in your office, and down at the bottom of their page, you can see contact us, and that'll take you to their email, and you can send them an email and attach any files that you may have. And they will receive that, look it over, and possibly get back with you or ask for their questions as well. So that's a great way to do that. But be sure to give your time, event, location. They can't make a storm report if they don't have the event or location. So make sure you give those details to them so they can look that over. Great question. Getting unconfirmed reports out of Huntington County from that special weather statement, perhaps maybe a microburst or a downburst. Getting a report of a few trees down and maybe some barn damage as well in Huntington County. That'd be just southwest of Fort Wayne where that special weather statement was. It was warned for statemented for 50 mile per hour winds and nickel-sized hail in Huntington County, but maybe a little bit stronger. But currently there are no severe thunderstorm warnings or special weather statements in the state of Indiana. So that is good news. Strongest storms southwest lower Indiana and southern Illinois approaching Indiana. They are strong but not severe at this point in time. Could have some small hail. Heavy rain is the biggest hazard here. Heavy rain, lightning, and maybe some pea-sized hail. We are keeping an eye on our severe thunderstorm warning in southern Illinois. That is crossing over from Missouri into Illinois, moving into the Carbondale area. That'll eventually make its way towards Posey County, Indiana, in the next half an hour or so. So that is what we're keeping an eye on right now. While we are in all clear mode in Indiana, we have no statements or warnings. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to drop them in chat. We had a couple so far. Love getting to know you, getting to interact with you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in chat, and I'll try to get them answered for you. But if you guys are in Northwest Indiana, I don't expect any severe weather today. You guys are in the clear, and you're actually going to notice a drop in temperature across Northwest Indiana. Your temperatures are going to be dropping into the low 50s and perhaps upper 40s by mid-late afternoon across Northwest Indiana. As the stationary front sags south, you're going to notice some cold air filter in on the backside. Areas from Indianapolis, Muncie, and points southward and southeast, you guys will be in the 60s and perhaps low 70s down near the Ohio River. But the further north and northwest you go, the cooler it will be today. Could have some isolated showers northwest Indiana later today, but the best risk for thunderstorms will be across central and southern Indiana. Widespread severe weather is not expected, but we could have a few strong storms, small hail, gusty winds expected here before noon here today. Once we get to the afternoon hours, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible, but we're expecting a decrease in coverage and intensity, so mainly just rain at that point in time, and rain will linger through Sunday as well. Some areas could see 2 to 3 inches of rain by Sunday night into early Monday morning before we clear out on Monday and the sunshine comes back out across the state by Monday afternoon into Tuesday, so some good news there. And we look to stay mild too. Here recently, after a cold front comes through, we've been having to mention and put out warnings for frost or freezes, but good news, no frost or freezes look probable near term. There could be a few frost long term, though, looking ahead in the next 1 to 2 weeks. But near term, luckily, no frost is expected. Indianapolis, you guys are in the clear right now. Could have some rumbles of thunder, heavy rain, maybe some pea-sized hail yet this morning. But the severe weather risk is quite low at this point in time for you guys. Greatest risk would be southwest lower Indiana. Think Evansville, Terre Haute, Vincennes, that vicinity down there. And it's low down there. It's not a very high risk, but that'd be the best area to see a severe thunderstorm yet this morning before lunchtime. But the biggest risk with these thunderstorms across southwest lower Indiana, specifically these right in here. Heavy downpours, winds 35 to 45 miles an hour with those, subsevere. Sporadic reports of some small hail, up to pea size perhaps, and maybe some dimes in the stronger cores. But these are not expected to become severe at this point in time. That is not the case with the storm in southern Illinois. This is the one that we're going to have to watch as it gets close to Posey County, Indiana. This one is actually pretty strong. 60 mile per hour winds, quarter size hail. It does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. You can see the hail core right in there, just outside Grand Tower, Sand Ridge, Murfreesboro, Carbondale, and Pomona there in southern Illinois could have some quarter size hail, 60 mile per hour winds. But outside of a stray strong storm here today, heavy downpours and gusty winds and perhaps maybe some small hail are probable for the rest of the morning hours across central and southern Indiana. Widespread severe weather is not expected. But currently there are no active alerts in the state of Indiana. And the best potential for a strong storm are areas south of Indianapolis. So if you're in southern Indiana, central and southern Indiana have the best risk for thunderstorms or perhaps a strong storm today. If you're north of Indianapolis, you know where that is, you know where you live. The risk is very low. You'll likely see some cooling temperatures if you're north of Indianapolis, into the low 50s here by this afternoon, and even upper 40s across far northwest Indiana by this afternoon. At best, maybe some rumbles of thunder north of Indianapolis, but nothing severe is expected. So we are in all clear mode. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to drop them in chat. I'll be happy to answer them here for you while we're hanging out here on this Saturday morning on this Easter weekend. Pretty active start to the Easter weekend. A lot of you guys probably got woken up here this morning by what we call window rattlers with lightning here this morning across the states. So Will we have the storm this morning in Washington, Indiana? It's possible. Anywhere in Indiana will have the chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms here this morning. Greatest risk, central and southern Indiana. So right now we are in all clear mode. We're just kind of watching the cell off to our west in Illinois here before we hop off. Decided to stay on a little bit longer just to watch these cells here to see how they evolve and how they trend as they enter and approach the Indiana line. This storm right here is strong, but it is not severe at this point in time. Hail looks to be around pea-size hail. Maybe some dimes, but largely less than that. Let's go ahead and look at velocity on it. Not really seeing too much on relative velocity, so that's good too. It also kind of has that look to it, maybe an elevated appearance to it, meaning the cloud bases are kind of high. That makes it harder for damaging winds to come down to the ground. And it kind of has that look on velocity too. It's what we call riding the PBL. That's a fancy term for there's a boundary that it's riding above, keeping those cloud bases higher. That's good news for when you don't want damaging winds. Could still have some hail, but not really seeing much of a wind risk with that one. So that's some good news. And hopefully we don't see any more severe thunderstorm warnings for Indiana. Hopefully that was it, and hopefully we're done. I think I can speak on behalf of every resident in Indiana that we've had enough severe weather for the year so far. We've definitely been active. It's been a very busy start to spring 2025 here in Indiana, especially for wind and tornado reports. We've doubled our average for tornadoes for the year in Indiana. We're at 45 currently for the year, and our average is 22. So we've more than doubled our tornado average by one in the state of Indiana, with 45 with an average of 22. So a very active year, but thankfully it's been a safe year. We've not had any fatal tornadoes yet, to my knowledge. So that is terrific news, and I really hope that trend keeps up. When you see the numbers that we've seen, it's been a very dangerous year so far. But I'm very thankful for all of you guys. And a lot of that is part for heeding the warnings. When a warning is issued, you guys know where to go. You have that plan in place. And that's a mindset you want to have. You want to have a reactive mindset, not an inactive mindset. Reacting to the warnings when they're issued, not treating it as if it'll never happen because we haven't seen it yet at your house or your location. Treat it as if something is occurring. The National Weather Service doesn't issue warnings for no reason. And because of that, it's always great to see you guys reacting and taking shelter and heeding those warnings. It makes me feel good. It makes the meteorologists on staff at the National Weather Service feel good as well. If we find that you guys are not in a safe place or didn't get the communication or not taking it seriously, it doesn't feel like we did our job. And I'm sure the meteorologists at the National Weather Service feel the same way as well. So knowing that you guys heeded the warnings, taking it serious, it means a lot to everybody. So we really appreciate that. We appreciate you for doing that. Weather and severe weather is not something to take for granted. It's not something to mess around with. It's very powerful stuff. Mother Nature is very powerful, and we have a tendency to underestimate her as well. So it's always good to heed warnings when they are issued. Pray for the best, prepare for the worst. Hopefully, nothing happens at your location and you get scathed. But for the off chance that something does happen, it's always good to be prepared in the event that something does happen. So, but right now we are still in all clear. We have some rain. Widespread rain. This is what we call stratiform rain, which is just your typical rain. You kind of have your low, dreary clouds. Those are called nimbus. That's likely what you see there near Urbana, moving into the Lafayette area, western Indiana. Just a nice, gentle spring rain. And that's another thing, too. If April showers bring May flowers, we are about to have a heck of a flower overload in Indiana with the amount of rain that we've seen this month. A little bit of humor there, but luckily with this round of rain, should keep the flooding at a minimal, but we could have some renewed river swelling again. Our rivers just now are reaching below flood stage across southern Indiana. after seeing nearly a foot of rain in some locations last week and a half, which is astronomical for this time of year. Many rainfall records and monthly rainfall records were broken in some locations across southern Indiana. So we don't need any more rainfall. But with the threat of heavy rain comes the risk for excessive runoff, river swelling, and stuff like that. So turn around, don't drown. A lot of these thunderstorms are moving over the same locations again and again, and that can lead to enhanced hydrologic issues, meaning excessive runoff, where we have ponding on roadways, ditches are full, rivers start to swell. So keep an eye on that when you're driving. Keep an eye on that with your rivers. If you live in a flood-prone area, keep an eye on that. You may notice a slight rise in area rivers, especially across central and southern Indiana, as a result of heavy rainfall today through tomorrow. Deanna says she's got a bunch of turkeys in her area. Yeah, a lot of critters are taking advantage of the warm weather. They're out and about for springtime. From turkeys, possums, deer, you name it, they're all out and about this time of year. And they probably had to find some higher ground too in southern Indiana. Unless you're a duck, it was great weather for ducks. They had the best habitat in the world down there for a while, but thankfully that water is draining. And I believe that was the third highest crest on record for the Evansville area in the Ohio River, at around 48 feet roughly, I think it was. So quite impressive amounts. We even had some near record highs or near record crests on the White River and Ohio River as well. So thankfully those rivers are receding. We may see a slight rise with the rainfall that we're getting today through tomorrow, but no flooding like what we saw previously is expected, but we could have some minor flooding be renewed because of this rainfall. So do keep that in mind. Yeah, we're just mainly watching two cells here. This cell here entering Indiana, near Sullivan County, Indiana, I believe. Yep, Sullivan County, Indiana. And then we're watching the cell in south central Illinois as it approaches the Posey County, Indiana area, probably in the next 30 minutes or so, to maybe 40 minutes. Keeping an eye on that to see how it trends. If these storms look to weaken to where they're not going to pose a risk for severe weather, we'll hop off. But until I'm confident in that, we're going to stay on here, hang out in all clear mode while we monitor the situation. The last thing I want to do is hop off just to hop back on a few minutes later. So during this quiet time, if you guys have any questions, or feel free to drop them in chat. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And great to see you guys in here. Got a lot of you guys still in here. Stacy's in here. Melissa's in here. Hadley's in here. We got John in here. Richard's in here. Great to see you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter weekend. Many of us have an extended weekend. A lot of us had yesterday off and have a 3-day weekend. So for those of you that do, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the wonderful weather we had yesterday. It was almost hot yesterday. I know myself, I am not used to 80 degrees. So I was rather toasty yesterday. I spent a lot of the day in our garden yesterday getting it ready and even got a sunburn on my neck. So welcome to Indiana, where we go from wearing Carhartts to getting sunburnt within 2 weeks. Wouldn't be Indiana without that. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in chat and let us know you're here too. I always love seeing your comments, seeing how you guys are doing. Drop that in the chat. Let us know. Yeah, it was pretty warm yesterday. Nearly the entire state was at or near or over 80 degrees yesterday. So it's a very warm day. A windy day too. It got pretty windy. We had a lot of blowing dust yesterday too. A lot of the farmers are in the fields planting beans, corn, and working the ground, so a lot of the soil is loose. So it didn't take very much for that soil to get airborne. So we had some periodic instances of blowing dust yesterday too, which we don't see all the time. Rochelle asked, do we expect storms all day off and on? Yeah, that's pretty much going to be the pattern here today through tomorrow. As we get into Monday, our cold front will exit. We'll may have some morning showers on Monday, maybe some lingering showers in the afternoon before we become partly cloudy and perhaps seeing some sunshine by Monday afternoon. And then Tuesday, we're sunny across the state. So at least that's the trend right now. We'll have to see how it trends. We are still a little ways off for early next week, but that is the trend. Widespread severe weather, not expected for the rest of the day here today, but an isolated strong storm can't be ruled out. Small hail, gusty winds is the main hazards here today. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning in southern Illinois, and we're just going to keep an eye on that and see how these storms trend here near term before we hop off. Again, I don't want to hop off prematurely, just to come back on a few minutes later if one of these storms decides to get an attitude again and become warned for likely hail or damaging winds. Turn on Hail Tracker here. This is a tool. It's called VIL, Vertical Integrated Liquid. We use this to track our updrafts, and we call this Hail Tracker. And the brighter the colors, the deeper the colors, the larger the hailstones. Once you get the reds, and especially your grays and even whites, that's when you have a really strong updraft that could have some hail. Angola, Indiana. Great to see you in here, Kenneth. You guys are in the clear. Maybe some showers, perhaps a rumble of thunder, but nothing, no severe weather for you expected. All of northern Indiana shouldn't have any severe weather today. The best chance for a stronger storm is primarily Indianapolis and south, central and southern Indiana. The Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal risk for severe weather, but does not have a slight risk or anything like that. So nothing too significant is expected. But a few of these storms, you can see the updrafts here, could have some small hail. Maybe some small hail coming into, I guess it looked bigger on Evansville's radar, but when I went to Indianapolis's radar, not very big at all. Near the Mooresville area, maybe some small hail in there, peas, more than likely, but nowhere near close to severe criteria. A lot of these storms might be more elevated in nature, meaning their cloud bases are kind of high. That'll help limit the damaging wind risk associated with those on the northern extent, but could still have a hail risk in there as well. Generally, pea-size hail in winds 30 to 45 miles an hour for the majority of the rest of the morning with your stronger storms. Can't rule out a severe thunderstorm warning, but I think those are going to be far and few between. A widespread severe weather is not expected today, but if you have any Easter plans, still stay weather aware. Thunderstorms do still pose a hazard. Lightning is a hazard, even though it does not make a storm severe. It is a hazard. It kills people every year, and it can be very dangerous. You know the saying, you can't, you don't necessarily hear the strike that kills you, and that's very true. When you think about how many volts and how many amps is discharged and exchanged within a lightning bolt, they are very hot and very dangerous as well. So treat them with caution. Thunder roars, go indoors. Lightning is a very dangerous hazard. They start fires. They can electrocute you. They can kill you, and they can also cause quite a bit of damage too. So treat lightning with caution. But we are going to keep an eye on these storms here, southern Illinois and southwest Indiana for the next few minutes here, just to see how they trend here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a special weather statement on that one, and that would be for the Knox County and Sullivan County, Indiana region. Again, sub-severe, but it is a stronger storm, perhaps maybe some pea-size hail and some gusty winds, perhaps. It does kind of have that elevated look to it on radar. And if you're looking at radar a lot or really fluid with radar, you'll kind of know what I mean by that. Elevated meaning the cloud bases are higher. And when it comes to severe weather, you really want the cloud bases to be low. Lower to the ground, the better chance of you seeing the effects of severe weather on the ground, except hail. Hail can form even with a high cloud base because the cold air is aloft, and that's where the hailstones are made. But for damaging winds, you really want those clouds lower to the ground makes it easier for the storm to bring those winds down to the ground. But when they become elevated in those higher cloud bases, it's harder for the stronger winds to mix all the way down to the ground. It's easier when you have those cloud bases already there and already lower. So that's what I mean by some of those storms kind of have an elevated look to it, meaning their cloud bases are higher, which tells me it's less of a damaging wind risk and more of a hail risk. Small hail, peas to perhaps maybe some nickels. Can't rule out a severe storm with quarters, but I think from here on out it's going to be pretty few and far between. But I do want to keep an eye on these storms in southern Illinois just in case for a little bit longer yet. But if you guys have any questions, put them in chat again. I'm yours for a little while yet, and just until I'm confident that the severe weather threat is over enough to hop off. Again, I really don't want to hop off prematurely, given that we do have some strong thunderstorms in Illinois. While we're already live, I want to remain live until I'm confident that we're not going to see a warning issued in Indiana, either at all or at least for some time. Rochelle asks, are there any classes for us that are curious about weather but not chasers? Yeah, I would start with your National Weather Service Skywarn Spotter classes. When you take that class, it's like a 100 level class, if not maybe a little bit lower than that. They do a really good job, no jargon. They explain the weather and the basics of weather. They go into identification, how storms form, the types of storms we see here in Indiana, and how they impact us here in Indiana. It's a really good program brought on by the National Weather Service. They could be in person or virtual. I think there's a few of those still going on in the state of Indiana. A lot of times they'll post those events on their personal Facebook page or social media, and you can find that out on their website as well. So if you know what part of Indiana you live in, if you're in Southwest Indiana, it's the National Weather Service in Paducah, Kentucky. If you're in Central Indiana, it's the National Weather Service in Illinois. Extreme Southeast Indiana, like Clark County, Scott, Jefferson, Switzerland, Ohio, and Dearborn, you're going to be the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio. And if you're Northern Indiana, Jay County, Jay County, Cass County, and points northward, you're the National Weather Service in Northern Indiana. And if you're in Central Time, Northwest Indiana, think Lake Porter, Newton, and Jasper, you guys are National Weather Service in Chicago. Type that in your Google, go to their website, and they'll have those classes on there. And that's where I recommend. It doesn't make you a storm chaser or anything like that. They don't encourage storm chasing after taking that class, and I don't encourage it either. But it is a great way to get your feet wet in the world of weather and some of the mechanics of how storms work and why they work and the effects thereof. It's a really nice program that they put on. Vincent's probably hearing some rumbles of thunder right now. If you look at radar here, Vincennes is right here, and these are some thunderstorms off to your west moving your direction. Sub-severe at this point in time, but could have some small hail in them at this point in time, but they are sub-severe. So again, here's Vincennes, here's the rain. So pretty close to you, skirting right next to you. We'll have to watch some of these storms, and some of those could be strong, but none of them are severe at this point in time. But they do have some hail cores on them, so we're going to keep an eye on them here for a little bit until confident enough to hop off here. But outside of severe weather, could have some very heavy rainfall with a lot of these storms. Notice how they're moving over the same areas again and again and again. That's why we could have. That's why the Weather Prediction Center actually issued a risk for excessive rainfall today. There's a slight risk in Illinois, which is a 2 out of 4. And a marginal risk of 1 out of 4 in Indiana for that excessive rainfall. And that's because this cold front is stalling out. It's slowing down. It's going to set up shop and just hang out with us for the next 36, 48 hours across central Indiana and northwest Ohio. That's going to bring renewed chances of rainfall. And by Sunday night into Monday morning, some areas may see 2 to 3 inches across central Indiana. That could bring renewed ponding, ditch and creek swelling, as well as some minor river flooding cannot be ruled out as well. So something to keep an eye on into the Easter weekend and into next week. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will persist over the state of Indiana through today and through tomorrow night. Showers will slowly exit the state on Monday before becoming mostly sunny on Tuesday, and perhaps maybe some peaks of sunshine late in the day on Monday We'll just have to see how that trends. But plan on some rain and thunderstorms through the weekend and through at least Monday morning. And then from there, we'll have to see how fast we can dry out and get that sunshine back by Tuesday. So not a bad weekend. Just be mindful of some thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong if you have any Easter plans or get-togethers, especially if you have any outdoor activities planned as a result of the holiday. Just be cognizant of the weather, be weather aware. Thunder roars, go indoors, and have a way to get warnings just in case we do have that one stray storm get an attitude and go severe. You want to have a way to get that warning and know what's going on. Not sure what you mean by that, Derek. We did not have a derecho today. I'm not sure what you mean by that. We had a straight line wind event today, but it was not a derecho. We need a much larger storm complex covering a much larger area to meet the criteria for a derecho. This storm went maybe 150 miles for a derecho. You need to go much more than that, and over a much wider area as well. But this was not a derecho. We do see them from time to time in Indiana, but today was not one of those. Heavier storm now moving into southern Indiana, Knox County, Sullivan County, getting in on a heavier thunderstorm here, perhaps some small hail. Anybody watching in Sullivan? Let me know what you're getting. If you guys getting some rain, if you guys are seeing hail, let me know what size it is. If I have to guess, I'm guessing pea-size hail for you guys. But let me know what you see, especially the wind. In my mind, looking at radar, this is elevated, meaning the cloud bases are high, so I don't expect a lot of wind with them, more so just some small hail. But again, I'm not there. My eyes aren't on the ground there, so let us know. Let us know what you see. I'd be very excited to know what you guys see down there. But my guess is the cloud bases are a little bit higher than what they were this morning. We do have Twitter. You can follow us on X, Indiana Storm Chasing Network, or Indiana Weather Online. We are on Twitter. Getting pretty dark in Vincennes. Yeah, not surprised to hear that. Heavy thunderstorm just off to your north and west. Going to skirt right next to you. A few light rain showers around the Vincennes immediate vicinity there. A little one right there near Beale and St. Thomas. Maybe some pea-size hail in that little guy. Not very big, but does have a little bit of an updraft there. Maybe some pea-size hail, but nothing too significant there. Storms to watch are these guys right here. This one here and this one here. Have both had a history of severe thunderstorm warnings. Right now they are below severe criteria, but we're going to watch them to see how they trend as they move into Indiana before we hop off here. So we are still in all clear mode across Indiana. Near severe thunderstorm warnings across northern Ohio for that storm complex that moved through Indiana earlier today, or this morning. Looks like 60 and penny size hail for all of these warnings just south of the Toledo area. So if you know anybody between Bell Fountain, Toledo, and Cleveland, let them know. Got some strong thunderstorms on the way with 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. Not the case here in Indiana. We are currently all clear. We do have a couple strong storms, though, nonetheless. They are not severe, but they are strong in nature. So we're going to keep an eye on them here in case they do re-intensify into a severe thunderstorm. But that's funny, Marissa. If you guys have any questions or anything, put them in chat. And again, we're just hanging out here watching radar at this point in time and watching trends. I want to see how these storms evolve before we hop off here. But we are currently all clear. No severe thunderstorm warnings or special weather statements are in Indiana. And something else to note here too. I'll actually enlarge this radar. See this line right here. kind of see it on reflectivity. This is an outflow boundary. This is rain-cooled air that is pushing out ahead of the main line, and that's what you want to see. That is not a sign of intensification. That actually hurts the storms behind it because it actually pushes the instability further away from the storms and makes it harder for these storms to obtain that instability, moisture, that would otherwise support a strong to severe thunderstorm. So that's what you want to see. It's called gusting out. It's rain-cooled air. What's really cool, though, on the leading edge of these outflow boundaries is you get a shelf cloud, but it's extended out. It's a dry shelf cloud. So you get some gusty winds, but a lot of times it's curled over way ahead of the main rain. So outside looking at that is really cool because you see a lot of the turbulence underneath, a lot of rolling motion. You have rain-cooled air sinking underneath, warm, moist air rising up above. So you get like a rolling pin kind of motion, and it's real turbulence on the belly of those, we call them whale's mouth, just because they extend and look like the mouth of a whale on the inside. Real turbulent, billowing clouds, and look pretty ominous, and might have some gusty winds, and the temperature will drop too underneath those. So pretty cool there. But that looks to be what's going on here, and these look elevated in nature, just high cloud bases. But I don't see anything that would indicate severe weather is imminent in Indiana at this point in time. Hopefully this trend continues here before we hop off for good. But I do want to say thanks for following us today and throughout the morning here. We've been live for quite a while now. We had a severe thunderstorm across the entire state of Indiana, getting pretty intense there across central and east central Indiana. Even having a destructive warning. That's the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning the National Weather Service can issue. That was warned for 80-mile-per-hour winds, which had a destructive tag on it earlier today for east central Indiana. So pretty wild there, really. Northern Indiana, you guys are in the clear. You guys are actually going to see your temperature start to drop here pretty soon. You guys are north of the boundary, north of the cold front. Your temperatures are going to go from the 50s to perhaps even upper 40s by late afternoon. Few lingering rain showers are possible, but no thunderstorms or severe weather is expected for anywhere in northern Indiana for the rest of the day here. Greatest risk for thunderstorms is Indianapolis south, and that will also have the greatest risk for a strong storm, but even that is low at this point in time. Most hazards today will be sub-severe. Pea-sized hail, gusty winds to 30 to 45 miles an hour in most storms, and that's in the strongest storms as well. So we are on a weakening trend. Heavy rain and lightning, probably the greatest hazards here with these storms at this present time. Hopefully the severe threat will continue to decrease and limit itself. We don't have a tremendous amount of ingredients, but we have just enough to spark thunderstorm activity as well as a few stronger storms as well. So something to keep an eye on throughout the rest of the day. Jogger says, I was woken up to 80-mile-per-hour notification on my phone, Madison County. Yeah, that was a destructive tag. Everyone's phones probably went off, or radios went off. Emergency alert system was activated for that. Anytime you get a severe thunderstorm warning, the EAS system is activated. But that's the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning the National Weather Service can issue. There's three. You have the baseline for a severe thunderstorm warning, which is 60-mile-per-hour wind or 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater. A lot of times you see a tag for 60 on there. Quarter-size hail, which is 1 inch diameter or greater. That's what makes a thunderstorm severe. That's your baseline. After that, it just intensifies from there. Once you get to 70-mile-per-hour winds, ping-pong ball-size hail, 1 1/4 inch, you get to a considerable tag. Once you get larger than that, 1 3/4 inch, golf ball size or larger, you get a destructive tag or considerable tag, depending on the nature and discretion of the office. But 80-mile-per-hour winds, you get a destructive tag, which is the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning you can have. And we saw that here tonight across east central Indiana. We had 80-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail, and a destructive severe thunderstorm warning tag earlier. Thankfully, those storms have weakened. They move out of the state. And I don't expect anything that intense for the remainder of the day, which is good news. I think it's safe to say we've had our fair share of severe weather across the state of Indiana over the past few weeks. to last us quite a while. I'm on that bandwagon, and I think a lot of you are as well. Take the rain for our gardens and our fields, but not the severe weather. I think we've had our fair share. So thankfully, it wasn't as widespread as what it could have been last night and this morning. So that's some good news there. And these storms are on a weakening trend here, which is good. It's what we want to see. I switch radars here, just kind of taking a look at this guy here, just to see what its updraft is doing. Got off some small hail, P's to dime here, but again, these storms appear to be weakening on radar. Heavy rain, lightning, small hail, P to dime, winds 30 to 40 miles an hour or less, is what I'm seeing on radar currently. So good news. So no severe weather in Indiana at this point in time. We are in all clear mode, meaning all severe thunderstorm warnings, special weather statements have been allowed to expire. So that's some good news here across the state of Indiana. Just keeping an eye on some storms here across southern Illinois. A few of these may be strong to severe. Hail would be the greatest risk with these storms, followed by gusty winds, and no significant hail is expected today. When I say hail risk, quarters or less is what I expect here for the range of the day, and most of it will be anywhere between P's to dimes. So pretty small hail today for the remainder of the day. Doesn't mean we won't get a severe thunderstorm warning. It is possible, but I think the risk is quite low at this point in time for a widespread severe. The strongest storms right now, southern Illinois and coming into Knox County, Indiana, and Sullivan County, Indiana right now has the hail core in it. That we're going to have to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and turn on our velocity here. We've been looking at hail tracker here, but let's go ahead and see what the winds are doing here associated with these storms here. Maybe some gusty winds, but I really don't see much in the way of damaging winds anymore. So hopefully that's a sign of the storms going elevated here. A little bit of an outflow boundary. Hopefully that's going to choke these storms off and just be the kill switch of them is what I'm hoping for. So we'll just have to see here how they trend on radar. But not overly impressive. So that's really good news here. But we do have some hail here. This storm here in Sullivan County, Indiana, moving near the Jasonville, Linton, Indiana, US 41 here, Washington, Indiana, could have a few hailstones in there, maybe some gusty winds as well. It's a strong thunderstorm, but below severe criteria at this point in time. So that's the good news. Yeah, you too, Jagger. Have a great day and have a blessed Easter. So great for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Maybe some pea-sized hail just south of Sullivan, Indiana. But the fact none of these have special weather statements on them either. So that's another thing that we watch for. If they're not even being issued for special weather statements, they're pretty weak in nature at this point in time. So that's really good news, really encouraging news, and really hoping that trend continues. Watch here for a few more minutes here to see how it evolves, and then we'll probably hop off if nothing else comes of it here. These storms are pretty weak in nature at this point in time, pretty unimpressive, which was anticipated. We're expecting gradual weakening overnight tonight. But compared to what we had earlier this morning and what we went live for, I'm really glad to see a much weaker scenario now than what we saw a couple hours ago, where we had considerable warnings and destructive warning for 80-mile-per-hour winds. That was very impressive for the environment that we had here today. Wasn't impossible, but it was very impressive. Bear with me here as I do a couple things here behind the scenes. I'm just looking at a couple things here behind the scenes. Going through some data here real quick as I decide how much longer we're going to stay live here. But if you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to drop them in chat. I'll try to answer them here before we hop off. A little bit of a hail core now south of Terre Haute near Prairie Creek, Fairbanks, Sullivan there. That'd be this storm right in here, getting ready to cross US 41 here. Likely already crossed. This hail tracker is a little bit behind, so what you see these colors here, think of it overcast in State Road 159. That is where this would be right about now. It's just lagging behind the radar just a little bit, about 5 minutes old or so. You'll see this move here in the next scan. But sub-severe at this point in time. Where did the storm sit earlier this morning? That's a good question. We had a severe thunderstorm enter the state near the Terre Haute area, and then from there it traveled across central Indiana through Indianapolis, where we had 70-mile-per-hour winds and a considerable warning. And then from there it went towards the Muncie, Indiana, Anderson area. This is where we had the most intense portion of the storm. It was upgraded to a destructive tag with 80-mile-per-hour winds that were within that storm. And from there it weakened a little bit between Jay, Randolph, and Wayne County to 70 and then 60 as it entered Ohio. So it did get pretty intense there for a little bit. Really strong velocity signatures on it. And yeah, that's not something we take lightly. That's something that everyone should be taking shelter until given the all clear from a storm of that magnitude. Yeah, right now the storms that are coming in are not warned. There's no special weather statements on them. There's no severe thunderstorm warnings. They're just general thunderstorms at this point in time. Watching one exiting Sullivan County at this point in time. That's what I'm watching before I decide if I'm going to hop off or stay on here for a little bit longer yet. So that is what I am paying attention to at this point in time. We'll stay on here for a little bit longer yet. We're just keeping an eye on these storms coming in, but we're currently all clear. We have no special weather statements and no severe thunderstorm warnings for the state of Indiana, so that is terrific news. Go ahead and turn velocity back on to look at our winds here. Maybe some gusty winds here and this one here. And right in here, I have some gusty winds coming in as well. So some of the stronger winds are mixing down to the ground, but sub-severe at this point in time. I don't really see anything that's real conducive for severe weather in any of these storms at the moment. So that's good news. Hopefully that trend continues. We'll watch them here for the next couple of minutes here before we hop off. And before we hop off, I really want to say thank you for following along. Thank you for trusting us to get you up to date and covered during our severe weather event this morning. and early this morning as well. We've been live here for quite a while, so over 4 hours. So I want to say thank you for that. But again, sub-severe at this point in time, which is good news. I don't see any severe weather at this point in time. So that is what we want to see. A decent thunderstorm coming into the Jasonville, Linton areas. But again, sub-severe at this point in time. Maybe some small hail. Maybe some pea-sized hail, perhaps. But things are not severe at this point in time. So hopefully that trend does continue. Still a few lightning bolts in some of these showers as well, so something to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and turn our hail tracker back on one more time here. Yeah, not really seeing too much. Again, the strongest storm right now, exiting Sullivan County, Indiana, and moving into Greene County and Owen County, Indiana. Could have some gusty winds and small hail, but again, well below severe criteria at this point in time. So that is some good news there. But again, if you're anywhere across southern Indiana, expect this rain and thunderstorms to slowly meander eastward in your location for areas south of Indianapolis. Few of these storms could be strong to locally severe with small hail and gusty winds. For severe thunderstorm warning, you need quarter-size hail or 60-mile-per-hour winds, or 58 or greater. A lot of times you'll see a tag for 60 mile per hour on the warning itself. Could have some hydrologic concerns through this weekend and the next week. These showers and thunderstorms are associated with the cold front that's stalling out across central Indiana. It's going to set up shop. It's not going to go anywhere, hence the keyword stationary, right? This will bring renewed chances for rainfall and some thunderstorms across the state here this weekend into Monday morning before we dry out and the sun comes back out by Tuesday. Overall this week, and no chances for frost that I see on the horizon, which is great news. We've had quite a bit of frost here recently. But temperatures will stay pretty mild, so that's good. Christine asks, what does gusty winds mean? Well, wind speed generally less than 58 mile per hour. That is sub-severe. When we say generally some gusty winds, we think more along the lines of 35 to 45 or less. Those are generally gusty winds. For a severe thunderstorm warning, we need quarter size hail. Or 58 mile per hour winds or greater. That makes a thunderstorm severe. And we are just watching that one little thunderstorm exiting Sullivan County there before we hop off. Want to make sure that's not going to go severe before we hop off and end our coverage here for this morning. And we'll continue to watch the radar here behind the scenes as well. And if any of these storms get an attitude, we'll come back on and we'll cover it for you from beginning to end. So you guys have that coming your way. If any of these storms do get an attitude, I don't expect severe thunderstorm warnings to be widespread here today. I just don't expect that. And Kathy says, very heavy downpour where she is at. Yeah, not surprised. A lot of these thunderstorms do have some pretty heavy downpours. Scattered sporadic rainfall rates in excess of an inch an hour in some of these heavier cores, especially the one here in Linton and Jasonville. That's in Greene County, Indiana, right in here. And a little bit to the north of Greene County and Clay County, too, getting in some heavier rainfall rates, moving to Owen County over here near US 231. And the 69 corridor could have some heavy rain there as well. But in terms of severe weather, the threat is overall pretty low here today. The storm prediction center does have a marginal risk for central and southern Indiana. Marginal meaning widespread severe weather is not expected, but we could have an isolated strong to locally severe storm. Generally, this morning has the best chances before noon today. Once we get in the afternoon hours, I think that risk will go down just a little bit more. So, but I am watching this storm right in here near the Jasonsville and Linton area. So we're going to hang on a little bit longer and keep an eye on that before we hop off. The last thing I want to do is hop off premature, just to pop back on. Good morning, Ryan. So there is Ryan, everybody. He is another colleague, familiar face. You guys probably have seen him. If not, Ryan. Followers, Ryan followers. So great to see you in here, buddy. Ryan had a late night last night, too. So very busy night covering radar and watching radar all night for you guys to keep you guys ahead of the storm. That is our main mission here. So it's a privilege to be able to do that for you guys. Yeah, yep, I can do that here for you. Just bear with me here, guys. Just going to do a couple things here behind the scenes here. And there you go, Ryan. Just watching a cell right now. Just make sure nothing else goes severe. In Greene County, Indiana, and Southern Clay, moving into Owen County. Surprised there's no special weather statement on that. We had a very powerful storm earlier, Ryan, in case you don't know. We had one with a considerable tag and even destructive tag get placed on it earlier today. We had a very dangerous situation earlier this morning. Thank goodness the severe risk is quite low now, and I don't expect to see that for the rest of the day today. I don't expect the storm to get up to that level of intensity for the rest of the day. So hopefully that trend continues. But like I was telling everybody here in chat, we'll watch radar the rest of the day and continue to monitor the situation in case any of these storms do get an attitude here today. Oh, yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I had a power nap between midnight and 1 in the morning, and then, or no, sorry, between 1 and 2 in the morning, and then after that, I have been in severe weather ops since then. So I'm running on patriotism and an energy drink at the moment. So, in case you guys don't know, while I was watching radar last night, I was actually planting sweet corn at 12:30 in the morning last night as I was watching radar because. Why not, right? I mean, what else do you do at 12:30 in the morning while you're watching radar and not going live? Planting sweet corn. Watching radar and planting sweet corn. Yeah, let me there is your screen there. I'm on scene 1 there for reference, Ryan's screen. His volume is hard to hear. Maybe I can help that a little bit. Well, his volume's all the way up on my end. Sources tab, Caleb. Do you see my screen share? Put the guide on that. There you go. Yep, that'll do it. In terms of
desktop. On your audio, scroll up to the very top. Desktop. Yeah. On the desktop. Put that. Also, desktop audio. I do not see a screen.
You can't see that. Yeah, I just have the option screen for filters, properties, advanced audio properties.
Okay, let's try this. Go ahead and find us.
I can look here. Let me go to advanced properties here. Yes, it is. It says you're active.
Active.
Where do I see that at? No. No, you are not muted.
Can you share your entire screen? Desktop audio. Click on desktop audio. Over at the change that to monitor. Let's get that changed.
All right, let us know in the chat if you can hear Ryan.
So go ahead and put that on the audio properties there. That's the products. It's not the products. Change that from default to yeah, the speakers now. I should change that. I should fix it up there. That's one too.
That would be my audio source. Bear with us here, guys. Just doing some technical difficulties here behind the scenes, trying to get Ryan set up here so that you guys can hear him, talk to him, interact with him. So that's what we're trying to do here. So bear with us here. Currently in Indiana, no special weather statements. We're in all clear mode at the moment.
Test 1, 2.
Wow, that was. I had a lot of background noise there. Did you hear all that background noise? That was bad. Bear with us here, guys. You guys can let in the chat let us know if you can still hear me or if you have an echo or what's going on. We're just going through some technical difficulties here, so bear with us here. We're just trying to get set up to where you can hear Ryan and interact with him. Yeah, you might hear some slight echoes here temporarily while we get this figured out. Okay.
Can you guys hear me now? Nice camera on your speaker.
Yeah, put in the chat if you can hear myself or Ryan. Just a yay or nay would be sufficient, as we are in all clear mode at the moment. We do have a strong thunderstorm, though, approaching Bloomington. Could have some gusty winds and small hail there, but sub-severe. But let us know if you guys still have an echo or if you can hear me. If you can hear me, just tell me my lips are moving and you can't hear me. Not getting any responses. All right, so it sounds like they can hear me. Are you guys able to hear Ryan? Ryan, say something real quick. All right, so they can hear me. Ryan, go ahead and do a test. All right, let us know if you can hear Ryan there. He just said test 1, 2, 3. If you can hear that, say yes. If not, just put no while we figure this out. All right, so it sounds like they cannot hear you, Ryan. I'm getting mixed reports. Okay.
Test.
I think I heard you there. Say something again.
Test 1, 2, 3.
I heard you on my end. Maybe they can't hear you still.
Audio's coming through now.
Excellent. Sorry about that, guys. About those technical difficulties there.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Do you guys have any echoes or anything like that? Put that in the chat. Let us know if you have any echoes or anything like that. Or if you guys can hear us both fine.
Yeah, I think we fixed it now.
Yeah, I think so. But the good news is, Ryan, those storms in southern Illinois are putting off a very large outflow boundary. So essentially they're choking each other off. So that's what we wanted to see. They were pretty strong at a few severe thunderstorm warnings in southern Illinois. But they are since weakening quite a bit. The only cell that raises concern, which is not severe, it's just strong, is outside Bloomington, Indiana. So That's the one we were watching here near term. Could have some small hail, but there's been no SPS on or special weather statement on it for some time since its existence. So that tells me something right there.
Yeah, I'm seeing that the storm reports for the overnight period, there's like a line that just came right through about just Indianapolis, from about Terre Haute up to Indianapolis, up to about the Muncie area.
Yeah, that's where it went. Yeah. Went from being warned for 60 and pennies. Indianapolis, it went considerable, 70. And then outside of Indianapolis, it went destructive for 80 until about the state line, where it finally got reduced. Jay, Randolph, and Wayne counties. So a very intense storm there for a while. Over a lot of the same areas that had an intense storm a few days ago with a destructive and considerable tag on it. Indianapolis just saw 70 to 80 mile per hour winds about a week and a half ago. So not a good situation. I don't like seeing intense storms go over the same areas that have already seen intense storms not that long ago.
And the good news, though, is these storms at the moment on your screen are sub-severe, meaning that they are not really close to being severe.
No, not at all.
Gusty winds, or maybe
perhaps
some smaller hail heading toward like the Bloomington area here, Martinsville perhaps. But generally speaking, this threat right now, at least, is pretty much subdued.
Yeah.
Looking back down toward the radar here in Evansville as well, we have perhaps some stronger storms with a lot of lightning and heavy rain moving into the Vincent's area. Velocity here for the wind doesn't appear to be overly concerning. So
no, and looking at cameras in the area, our cloud bases are elevated, right? And they've gone up a little bit on that cell near Bloomington. Looking at the mid levels, they're pretty high. So that's some good news. That'll help mitigate the damaging wind risk a little bit. Still could have some hail, but without those low cloud decks, it's harder for the damaging winds or the stronger winds to reach their way to the ground. They're closer to where the clouds are, so it's harder for that to sink down to the ground. So that's some good news as well.
Looking at the ingredients for severe weather behind the scenes here, we have very little, if any, fuel for these storms, which is great news.
Yep. I told everybody here we were going to watch that storm here around Bloomington here to see how it trends, and then talk about hopping off and watching things from behind the scenes here for the remainder of the morning into the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, Kayla, if you want to end the stream here and you want to go rest, I can take over. I'm awake now and just give you the break if you want one.
Okay. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I'm running on 1 hour of sleep, so.
Yeah. So I think with no severe ongoing here, and Caleb's leading the charge in the stream, so I can't control any of the back end stuff like he can. I think we're going to end it. If something goes severe, I'm here awake now and monitoring the pages and radar, so I can go live if need be to cover any additional severe storms. But at this point in time, judging by what I'm seeing on radar, anything severe would be just for hail. I don't see anything coming alive for wind, and especially not for tornadoes.
No.
Caleb, if you're good to end it, I'm good as well, and I can get it set up where I can just go live with a push of a button.
Sounds good. Well, with that being said here, guys, we're probably going to hop off. Thanks for staying with us here through our coverage here this morning. Had a pretty intense storm there for a while here this morning. Didn't expect a destructive severe thunderstorm this morning, but nonetheless, we had just enough ingredients to support that earlier this morning. Our ingredients are waning as we go throughout the day. That storm used up a lot of the ingredients that we had, which wasn't a whole lot to begin with. Throughout the remainder of the day, scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially central and southern Indiana, could persist throughout the rest of the day. But going into later today, we do have a marginal risk still in effect for central and southern Indiana. Widespread severe weather is not expected today, but a stronger storm with perhaps some small hail or gusty winds cannot be ruled out. And we'll continue to monitor radar behind the scenes throughout the day. And if any of these storms do get an attitude and do go warned, we'll hop back on, we'll go live, and we'll cover those through that event. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and hop off of here. And I will see you guys next time, and appreciate you guys. And we'll be back live if anything does go severe, and we'll update the pages as needed. So with that being said, have a great rest of your weekend. And if we don't see you, have a blessed Easter, and we'll see you next time.